banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Enjoy the Fox and Hounds restaurant's fabulous all-you-can-eat fish fry. It's one of the best. The magnificent Sunday brunch is also all-you-can-eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Are you concerned with AMD? Now protecting your eyes is easier thanks to New Nordic's Blueberry Eye Supplements, available now at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, March 14th, our top story. One door opens, 3 more close in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Yet another incident on a plane.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We're looking pretty good across the entire area. Just a couple of broken down vehicles on 94 north and southbound right around the Drexel area. But overall, everything is out of traffic, by the way. Overall, everything looks great. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, windy, and warm today. High 64 at the lake, 74 degrees away from Lake Michigan. Watch for thunderstorms tonight with showers and storms likely overnight, some of them on the strong side, and a breezy low of just 50 degrees. Right now at 42 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 3 additional schools closing temporarily due to possible lead dust contamination. Milwaukee Public Schools announcing on Thursday that Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School would close temporarily starting Monday for cleaning and lead dust testing. These schools are all part of the original list of 7 others that will be looked at by MPS and the City Health Department for lead dust. That full list is available on our website, WTMJ.com.
The new closures come as 1,000 MPS students are expected to be tested for elevated levels of lead this weekend.
It's part of the State Health Department's goal to locate and identify lead in students from 4 MPS schools. Kristen Payne is a parent of an MPS student who's doing her best to inform parents of the clinics.
We're trying hard to get the information out. We've got Instagram going, Facebook going, making sure that folks know about the clinic information.
Michael Harris with MPS on medical personnel on site.
MPS will have some of its nurses, parent coordinators, Milwaukee Rec on site to just support, to get folks in, make folks comfortable, and go through the process.
Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Screening will take place at Bradley Tech High School tomorrow.
A stabbing in a brewery district apartment where a Turkish national lived with the body of his dead girlfriend, authorities say, for 20 days.
22-year-old Sirkan Achilad faces 1 charge of first-degree reckless homicide for the death of Silan Tut. Achilad reported her death to police on February 27th, arriving at the police administration building with a nail in his head after attempting suicide with a nail gun. Police found Tut's body with 12 stab wounds and traces of blood and cleaning supplies across the apartment. Achilad denies killing his girlfriend or trying to cover up her death. He's in custody on a $1 million bond and due back in court Wednesday. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin. The race for an open Wisconsin State Supreme Court seat is heating up. TMJ4 Chief Political Reporter Charles Benson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the race between Susan Crawford and Brad Schimmel has become the most expensive race in state history.
We thought 2 years ago you couldn't come close again to spending that kind of money for a state Supreme Court race. That race not only broke the record, it shattered the record, not just in Wisconsin, but across the country. And now here we are approaching $60 million with less than 3 weeks ago.
Billionaires like Elon Musk and George Soros have placed millions of dollars into each candidate's campaign. Early voting begins next week.
U.S. Senate set to consider a spending bill today that would avert a government shutdown set to take place at midnight tonight. Republicans have the Senate majority, but it's likely they'll still need Democrats to come on board to get this approved. Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
Basically one path to keep the government from shutting down. One door unlocked, and Democrats have the keys.
Some Democrats say the spending bill gives too much power to the executive branch. They are pushing for a shorter-term continuing resolution.
A federal judge in California is ordering 6 federal agencies to bring back probationary employees who were fired last month through the Department of Government efficiency cuts. CBS correspondent Nancy Cortez.
In many cases, these workers were told that they were poor performers when there's evidence that that was simply not true. Now, this case is going to continue to work its way through the courts, but it underscores the fact that these probationary employees, they do have some rights. You can't just fire them without cause, and that's why the government claimed they were poor performers.
The order impacts workers who were fired from the Departments of Agriculture, Defense, Energy, Interior, and Treasury.
Another aviation-related incident, this one in Colorado.
American Airlines Flight 1006 left Colorado Springs and was headed for Dallas-Fort Worth when the crew checked in with air traffic controllers.
We just have a high engine vibration, so we are cruising slower than normal.
The audio from liveatc.net. The flight diverted to Denver and was parked at a gate when the right engine appears to have caught fire. A dozen of the nearly 180 people on board were hospitalized for injuries suffered in the evacuation of the plane. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Coming up, another Wisconsin college facing cuts. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 4 weeks, and I've already lost 20 pounds thanks to my amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. My wife's on board. Kathy loves it, and we are both feeling more energized.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why NX Wealth Management presents the Women in Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women in Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Marquette and Wisconsin survive in advanced sports at 6:15.
Faculty jobs are on the chopping block as part of St. Norbert College's newest rounds of cuts. According to the information from the college, 21 positions are going to be cut this year, 6 more next year. In all, only 66 full-time positions will be left on the campus as St. Norbert's moves to slash majors and other academic programs in order to save some money.
Medical College of Wisconsin entering the final stages of construction on a new cancer research facility to be located at the Regional Medical Campus.
The state-of-the-art 161,000-square-foot Center for Cancer Discovery will allow more patients groundbreaking access to cancer treatments.
Medical College of Wisconsin's Dr. Ben Weston.
We're excited to have this new cancer facility to really do cutting-edge research on cancer therapies and treatments.
The facility will also feature dedicated space to support the development of investigator-led startups that focus on accelerating innovative cancer therapeutics.
I think sometimes we forget how lucky we are to have these research facilities so close to us, top-of-the-line care in the world right next door.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Building construction on track, occupancy planned for early 2025.
He's been called the godfather of Milwaukee rock and roll, Larry Lynn. And Lynn tells WTMJ's Libby Collins about an onstage fracas at the Riverside Theater when his band played back up for the rock legend Chuck Berry one time.
Chuck Berry finally came in about 3:45. He was telling the drummer, basically, when I take my foot and kick it sideways to one side, I want you to break. So the drummer, Teddy, was playing along, and Chuck did some weird move, but it was the move that wasn't what he told Ted. And that was almost a feud on stage between the two of them. And Chuck Berry turned around, and there was some wild words.
So you can hear more about Lynn's band played in LA Club with Caesar and Cleo. You know them as Sonny and Cher. More behind-the-scenes stories. Pretty good one. WDTMJ Conversations, Sunday at 11 a.m.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WDTMJ News Time 6:09.
Wisconsin women are raising questions about Judge Susan Crawford. Crawford says,
I view myself as a really common sense judge.
But was it common sense, Judge, when you supported repeal of voter ID laws?
A really common sense judge.
But was it common sense, Judge Crawford, when you accepted endorsements from groups that support men in women's sports?
A really common sense judge.
But was it common sense, Judge Crawford, when you issued reduced sentences to child sex offenders, allowing one to live across from a school? Really? Common sense, Judge Crawford? You have been missing in action.
Case closed. Guilty as charged. Judge Brad Schimmel has the common sense, the integrity, and the experience to make an outstanding justice on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Elect Judge Brad Schimmel on April 1st. LNC Coalition paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. lcfreedom.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Checking in at 6:10 with Debbie and the roads. Hi, Deb.
All right, the roads, they are looking angelic right now. Everything looks great. Nothing slowing you down. No incidents really to speak of, so everything is moving along just fine. Happy Friday. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Watch for some thunderstorms tonight. Could get stormy, and some of those storms could be on the strong side. Before we get there, beautiful day. High of 64 at the lake, 74 inland, but it will be breezy with winds gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Showers and storms likely tonight. Again, some of them could be strong, low down to 50. Very windy on Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy with an isolated shower possible. High 61, winds gusting up to 45 on Saturday. Sunday, mostly cloudy flurries, breezy and colder, high 41. Mostly sunny on Monday with a high of 53 degrees. 60 degrees is the high on Tuesday under partly cloudy skies. 42 right now in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
Major developments on this Friday in what is now clearly a growing crisis at Milwaukee Public Schools. More schools closing due to concerns over lead contamination.
Happening today.
Some good news is happening today. Students and staff set to return to Trowbridge Street School. They've been at an alternate location near downtown for the last 2 weeks. Milwaukee Health Department says its cleanup is complete there and it is safe for classes to resume. So everybody back at Trowbridge today.
You know, oftentimes you think some stories like this that have been in the news and popping up day after day after day, you eventually end them to culminate with okay, now everything is getting back to normal, going to continue to monitor this. But no, this story's got a new saga, a new chapter now.
Yeah, and on a day that we should be celebrating the return of the students, instead, the more dominant news is starting next week, same dance, different schools, 3 of them, Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori School, and La Follette School. They will all close on Monday for an undetermined amount of time. Students and staff will relocate to alternate sites. So just like what they did with Trowbridge, they'll send them somewhere else for school until the health department clears them to reopen after cleaning and lead remediation. 7 other schools, and here's the other thing, Eric, we're not done yet.
Right.
7 other schools are still undergoing assessments for potential hazards that could possibly result in their temporary closure if the health department feels that's necessary.
It's going to be the end of the school year pretty soon. By the time we start closing some of these schools.
Maybe they can get a good jump on things over spring break if it's not so dangerous at these current locations that the kids can't be there.
Right.
And that's the alarming part, is to decide to move students and staff and administrators and the whole operation and have that disruption in learning. That has to indicate to you that it's really unsafe. Like, this wasn't something that we could gloss over.
Right.
Or, at night we're going to do some things. Like, it's not safe for them to be here. And that's where we are with 3 more schools this morning and others potentially down the road. Meanwhile, parents encouraged to have their children tested for lead poisoning. 9 to 1 p.m. at Bradley Tech High School tomorrow is that big clinic. 6:13 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. When you think Tri-County Contracting, we've told you so much about getting new roofs and getting new siding, but there's so much more they do at Tri-County Contracting. They've been doing this for more than 40 years. How about the windows? You need a new front entry door, specialty glass, side lights, all that? Well, Tri-County Contracting can do that. You need a new patio door. Maybe the current door is just old or struggled or dirty and it's awful and you just need a new door in the patio there. Well, Tri-County Contracting can do that as well. They can give you free estimates, and they can separately price out everything, too, to help you with the process. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Wisconsin and Marquette both still alive in their respective conference tournaments. Both play again today. Badgers beat Northwestern 70-63 in the Big Ten Conference Tournament. Wisconsin will play UCLA. That's a 1:30 tip this afternoon. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, It's Siding, and a whole lot more. For the Golden Eagles.
At half court, Conwell, the 3, banked it in.
Of course he did.
He banked it in, but it doesn't matter. That means the final. Marquette 89, Xavier 87. Yep, Marquette getting a chance to play St. John's again.
Hang on. Whoa. You heard Homer right. St. John's up next for Marquette today in the quarterfinals. St. John's just beat MU in overtime Saturday to close the regular season.
It's tournament play. All you got to do is win. Doesn't matter by how many.
That is true, and that's a huge win for Marquette. Some have suggested maybe they were on the bubble even.
Wow, really?
As good of a season that they had. They really petered down the stretch, needed to win that. MU was down 14 points in the second half. Head coach Shaka Smart on the guys sticking together.
Halftime was important because the way that the guys looked and the way that they talked to each other was as if we have a chance to win the game, even though we were losing by double figures.
And Marquette and St. John's, Homer and Tony Smith back on the call, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. 5:30 tip at Madison Square Garden.
Badgers?
Did Badgers.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah,
they won too, right? Awesome. At Fiserv Forum.
I love the show.
Here's Giannis ripping the cords on a pull-up jumper from mid-range.
A near triple-double for Giannis as the Bucks get a much-needed win over the Lakers, 126-106. Giannis would have 24, 11, and 9. Now, LeBron didn't play. I swear he never comes to Milwaukee. It's been like 3 years
Did he
in a
not
row.
even come?
Luka did have 45 points and 11 rebounds. Needed this one badly. Had to win this one. Damian Lillard after those 3 losses.
You got to be able to move on, from those moments where it's like, man, if we would have done this, we would have done that. We win for sure 2 out of those 3 games. But I think we showed our maturity. We showed what a veteran team should show.
Huge weekend for the Bucks, by the way. They got two big ones at Fiserv. Saturday against the Pacers, which they're kind of competing with standings there for, and that's 9-2-0's Therese Halliburton as well coming into town. Then the number one team in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are in town on Sunday. To the Brewers now. How about this? We have Woodruff coming back. Big Woo is making a return. Brandon Woodruff will pitch on Sunday. This will be the first time facing major league hitters not wearing a Brewers uniform since September of 2023. He's been pitching against some of these other guys, minor leaguers and all that. No, it'll be for real Sunday.
He's so great. I mean, he's such a great part of our history here. This little 10-year run here that the Brewers have been pretty good in the mix, so to speak. You know, Woody's been such a huge part of it. You know, you think of the 5 or 6 big names that have been a huge part of it. Yeah, Woody's definitely one.
No, it'll be a bit before he actually pitches in a big league game at AmFam Field, but this is a great first step. We'll have that game on Sunday. Actually, we have Brewers all weekend long, starting today, 3 o'clock, right here on WTMJ this afternoon. It's the Brewers and the Giants.
You like that music better, E? You got your new,
yes, that's
got your new pep band music.
I like that, yes.
Girls basketball state championships underway in Green Bay. Today, these local teams trying to make it to Saturday's final. Arrowhead and Muskego in Division I. Now, sadly, they play each other in the D1 night camp. That's this evening, so one of them will advance. Winner will face either Appleton East or Kimberly from the Fox Valley. Division II semis this afternoon. Sweet alma mater, Wauwatosa East High School.
Here we go.
Facing West De Pere this afternoon. Division III semifinals were Thursday. Oostburg over Laconia, so Oostburg will play in the title game against Appleton Xavier Saturday afternoon.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for you. Hang out with us and get up to speed on all the cool stuff happening in our state. It's Experience Wisconsin every Saturday at 1 o'clock. We will check out places from Lake Superior to the Illinois border, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan. Take you inside the cool stuff that's going on. This week, I'm really excited. We'll visit the White Lace Inn and the town of Brookfield. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
Save up to 50% on the project and then save so much more on your energy costs. Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. And they'll help you apply for multiple generous rebate programs that can cut the cost of home insulation in half. Jeff and his team, they come out to the house, they perform an energy audit to help you qualify for all those savings. And then they get to work on the project. They fill your walls with this quieting, filtering, insulating foam that saves you money on your heating and cooling from day one. See the video. It's up now at USA Insulation. That's usainsulation.net.
During the transfiguration of Jesus, Peter said that they should set up 3 tents on the mountain. Peter wanted to stay in that moment. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. We also can get stuck focusing on the wrong things we don't want to change. During this Jubilee year, the Holy Father has asked us to be signs of hope for others. With hope, we see that we can change. As we begin this Lent, let us each use our gifts and talents to show the world that change and hope are possible in Jesus. Please join us at Mass.
Early on this Friday morning, what's happening on the drive, Debbie?
Not much. It is pretty quiet out there. Light volume and pretty much full freeway speeds around the entire system. Just a couple of broken down vehicles just south of the airport spur on 94. But really, everything is out of traffic off on the right, so it's not too bad. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
What a day today. Partly cloudy, windy, and warm with a high of 74 inland. Now, we do have thunderstorms tonight you're going to want to pay attention to. Showers and storms are likely. Sounds like after 9. Some of them could be strong. Breezy tonight, a low of 50. For Saturday, very windy tomorrow. Isolated shower, a high of 61 and 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts on Saturday. Sunday, cloudy with some flurries. Going to cool down, a high of just 41. We're back in the 50s on Monday. Right now, it's 6:22, 42 degrees.
So today is March 14th. 314 numerically if you do it, or 3.14. You see where this is going, E?
Yes. Here we go.
The day where you might just get a deal on pizza or a tasty dessert because it's Pie Day.
You can do pie, can't you? Isn't that something in your head? You can rattle it off?
Oh, I can do like 3.1415926654.
That's impressive.
It was just a dumb thing that we decided to remember when we were in elementary school.
And there it is,
Yes,
still
and
in your head.
good. And I use it every day. The former spelled pie, the latter P-I. Debbie Lozica teaches us to celebrate both this morning.
Pastry and math lovers, rejoice. Yeehaw! Get ready to get your nerd on. It's Pi Day. What, you say? Why, it's March 14th. 314?
3.1415926.
It's that pi. We've learned it in school. We all know it's a crazy number, but really, what is it?
Pi is the ratio of the circumference to the diameter of any circle. Circumference is pi times the diameter.
Teaching associate professor in the mathematics department of Marquette University, Dr. Carl Mueller, says it's a number that's always been around.
Oh, it goes way back, way back. Greek mathematics, I think, might have been when it started. And it's actually a fairly straightforward fact that the circumference and the diameter of a circle always have the same ratio. And it was across cultures, and not necessarily where one person discovered it and shared it with somebody else. It was something that was there to be discovered and understood.
But what do we need it for?
Pi is used for a lot of mathematical formulas, even things that don't seem to include circles. There are probability questions that use pi. It is important for things like if you want to get a spacecraft to Mars, you're going to need to know pi so that you can aim it correctly. But the number of digits that you need is surprisingly small. Computers use 15 decimal places after the 3, but it's more than enough to get you to Mars and land exactly where you want to land. If you use just those 16 digits, counting the 3, and you calculate the circumference of the Earth at the equator, because you've rounded off a little bit, you'll be off by about the width of a molecule.
Pretty neat, huh? Now, pi is what's known as an irrational number, a number that can't be written as a simple fraction, and in its decimal form, it doesn't end. Ever. It has an infinite number of digits after the decimal point. Those digits also don't repeat, so no 5 5s or 3 3s. Each digit is different one to the next. There are people who dedicate themselves to memorizing pi, like Dr. Carl. He's got way more than needed.
It's about 130 now, I think. It might be 140. The first 100 are burned into my brain. I learned those the summer between 7th and 8th grade, and they are just burned into my brain the way the alphabet's burned into your brain.
Pretty cool trick for a bar bet. And as of 2023, mathematicians and computer scientists have been able to calculate it out to over 100 trillion digits. We'll never really need all those, but it's a thing. It's even in the Guinness Book of World Records. And how does a self-respecting mathematician celebrate this most auspicious day?
I don't know that there's a whole lot of celebrating other than probably eating some pies. I mean, that has become a thing now, the eating of pies on Pi Day. I mean, any excuse to talk about pie, any excuse to eat pies, I mean, it all kind of ties together.
Ah, yes, the other kind of pie. Well, I spoke with Mr. Dye himself, owner and baker at Mr. Dye's Pies right here in the 3rd Street Market Hall. He says this is a big day.
We've been blessed to have a lot of pie days during the year. This is the biggest one. There's 2 national pie days, and this one is the biggest one. So we definitely see an uptick in orders and interest and the phone ringing, and we do expect a lot of traffic.
2 3 8
Yes,
4
yes,
6,
we
2,
know what pie is, but what is pie with an E? Well, according to Mr. Dye,
A pie has to have some crust. It doesn't necessarily have to be round, but you got to get some crust going. There's some pies that would have a crust on top and on the bottom. We also started doing a ground beef pasty, so with the ground beef onions, so it's more savory, and that's definitely a pie as well.
aha, so it doesn't need to be sweet. Interesting. And now I'm hungry. So before I eat this microphone, I'm gonna go head out and get me some pie and see how far I can memorize pie. Happy Pie Day, everybody. Debbie Lozica, WTMJ News.
8 3 2
Now,
7.
as I suggested, Deb, there are probably all sorts of places where you can get deals.
Sure.
On your various pies.
Yes. I mean, well, Mr. Dye's Pies here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. But yeah, I there's like a whole bunch.
Taco Bell's got some kind of.
I'm sure they do. I mean,
Taco
we've
Bell ain't
got
pie. Can you get, Mexican pizza is round.
Right. And I think
Yeah.
there's a couple of pizza places that are doing some kind of pie deal.
Yeah, I think Honey Pie might have some stuff.
So check with your local pie or pizza dealer.
Call before heading
for
out.
a deal
As
near
I'm-
you.
Just like the airport. Call before.
Exactly, so that you don't,
On this 314. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Got some other numbers for you, and you're not going to like them. Dow Jones Industrial Average down another 537 points, more than 1.25% to 40,814. The NASDAQ closed at 17,303. That was down an additional nearly 2%, and the S&P 500 off 78 points to 5522. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek. Have you been to the Hounds and Tap yet? In Menominee Falls, this state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the indoor-outdoor tavern, let your dogs hang out. You can even book professional grooming services, from pedicures to full spa treatments. Every day is a play day at the Hounds and Tap. Hang out with your dog and others, or drop your dog off for doggy daycare or doggy boarding services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com. At
6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Our top story, MPS closing more schools.
I'm Erik Bilstad. The race is getting more expensive.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We are in the clear right now. Full freeway speeds around the area. No incidents really to report. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic.
High of 74 degrees today away from Lake Michigan. 64 lakeside, thunderstorms tonight. Right now at 42.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Hamas this morning announcing it will release American hostage Idan Alexander and the bodies of 4 other dual nationals. It is unclear as of now if they are the bodies of dual national Americans currently being held. The statement comes as talks continue in Doha to try to broker the next stage of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. A dozen people had to be hospitalized after a jet engine caught fire at the Denver airport. 180 people on board. 5 people killed and a multi-car pileup in Austin, Texas. No cause yet determined. There's a vote in the Senate expected today on the budget plan that President Trump once passed. Senate Leader Chuck Schumer saying last night,
while the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse.
The market still rattled by the back-and-forth Trump tariff policies. The S&P now in correction territory, having lost 10% of its value in less than a month. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 3 additional Milwaukee public schools set to close temporarily due to unsafe lead dust levels. Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School will close temporarily on Monday for cleaning and lead dust testing. Those schools part of an additional list of 7 others that are being looked at by MPS and the City Health Department for lead dust. That full list is available on our website, WTMJ.com.
Going to test about 1,000 students for lead at MPS now. The district is partnering with the Health Department to offer its largest lead screening clinic on Saturday. This one will be at Bradley Tech High School.
Our priority schools are our K-8 schools in the district, where we have those kindergartens through 2nd grade and those most fragile special education students. So we're going to be really working and focusing on those schools schools as we continue to engage in this work.
That's the district's Michael Harris. He says the clinic's going to prioritize students attending Golda Meir, Coggle, Maryland Avenue, Montessori, or Trowbridge.
Living next to a dead body for weeks, 22-year-old Serkan Asebad from Milwaukee now charged with first-degree reckless homicide of his girlfriend. He reported his girlfriend's death to police in late February, but apparently she had died all the way back in January. The man had turned himself into police custody with a nail in his head, claiming he had attempted suicide with a nail gun. Man's being held on $1 million bond due back in court next Wednesday.
Another plea deal in the case of a man being killed outside the Hyatt Hotel in downtown Milwaukee last year. Herbert Williamson's one of 4 men charged in connection to the death of Devontae Mitchell. They pulled him out of the hotel, and he later died. Williamson was originally charged with felony murder. Now, he's agreed to a plea deal, and last month, Brandon Turner also is pleading guilty to felony murder as party to a crime in a plea deal.
Decision, Wisconsin. The state Supreme Court race between Judges Brad Schimmel and Susan Crawford has centered on abortion law that may not affect either candidate running for office. TMJ4 political reporter Charles Benson telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
The abortion issue, the 1849 law, which is also interesting because that is what is in front of the state Supreme Court now, likely decided before whether it's Schimmel that wins or Crawford that wins. You know, they don't get on the court until August of this year. So a lot of concentration on this 1849 abortion law, which may be settled.
Early voting for the April 1st election set to begin next week.
A reckless driving bill is on its way to the state Senate. Lawmakers in the Assembly overwhelmingly approved the measure, authored by State Representative Bob Donovan.
No victim of a stolen vehicle will be forced to pay towing costs or to reclaim their property.
The bill also adds provisions to allow law enforcement to impound cars involved in a reckless driving incident, regardless of who owns the vehicle or the suspect has a prior offense.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Coming up, the Celestial Ballet.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations: Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com, because today's your day.
A Friday Lent fish fry is a family tradition. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Take your family to the amazing Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford today for their all-you-can-eat Lenten fish fry, just $7.99. You don't need to pay $16 or more. Your Mine Chef fish fry is $7.99. It's all you can eat, and it's delicious. Relax with a sweet old-fashioned, a glass of wine, and ice-cold beer. And there's a kids menu that starts at $3.99. Those kids can safely play in the world-class game room quietly set aside from the dining area while you finish up. Wherever you live, it's worth a drive to the Mine Chef today for your Friday all-you-can-eat Lent fish fry, just $7.99. Wow. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating and close parking. And the Sunday brunch is all you can eat. It's a feast. It's under $15. Make a quick call and reserve your $7.99 fish fry. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is sponsored by Yutka Fence, keeping families and homes safe by protecting what you love most.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Well, spring training star for the Brewers is still raking. What's his secret? He tells us. Coming up in sports at 6:45.
Quite the scene.
Oh, was it?
Across North America overnight. If you missed it, it was just 4 hours ago.
Did you see the eclipse? I know a lot of folks probably got up and they checked it out. I know you were one of them.
I did see it. It was amazing. Got up at 2 o'clock, maybe a little bit before 2, and saw it.
Have you realigned all your chakras now?
As far as he knows.
Well, I was so disappointed, Debbie. I called Vince, and he didn't answer the phone. We were going to FaceTime it and do all this stuff.
We were not going to FaceTime. You were going to FaceTime.
We? Who's we?
When did you know that I finally called you? Did you wake up and ignore, or did you?
Yes. Would you?
Well, wait. What? So you saved them all? Okay.
Hi, this is Vince. Leave a message.
Hey, Vince. It's Erik. Hey, so it's almost time. I am outside. I am looking at this beautiful moon that is about to go entirely into the shadow of the sun. And it looks so pretty and gorgeous. Call me back. Hey, Vince, it's Erik. It's almost time. Hey, so I hope you wake up because the eclipse is about to happen. Call me back. I'm looking up at this clear sky, the beautiful moon just to the south, and it's about to be covered entirely by the Earth's shadow. It looks so gorgeous and pretty, and it's got like this rusty feel to it. Call me back. Vince, now you have to wake up right now. It's about to end. Vince, you have to... Oh, sorry. Sorry, Jason. Oh, my neighbor Jason just heard me. I forgot I was loud. Call me back. Oh, my gosh. Oh, look how cool that is. It's like the perfect conclusion to our new lives. The sun and the moon have become one, and so have we. Oh, my gosh. What an amazing experience. It was so cool. Just a beautiful, celestial, wonderful thing. And you missed it, man. Okay, bud. See you at work.
I can't believe you did get up.
It was cool. It was a beautiful night for it. So I'm glad all the astronomy lovers got to see something cool.
You just have a glow about you this morning. 6:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hunters and soldiers use night vision optics that enable them to own the night. Jesus said he is the light of the world, and whoever follows him will never walk in darkness. However, he sometimes keeps that light out of the visible range. We don't see it, but it changes what we see. What does it mean to walk in that light of Christ? Hear Dr. Michael Ziegler's message, Light of the World, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Got to get in on this contest. Vince Vitrano for Lifetime Door. They will give you a new garage door opener, free installation, the whole package valued at up to $8,000. One lucky person's going to win. Enter the contest. Text GARAGE to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. Or if this is easier, just head to our website, WTMJ.com. It's right there on the front page. You click on the Lifetime Door Contest to enter your name, a little bit of information, maybe upload a picture. Tell us why you deserve that beautiful new garage door from Lifetime, and you are entered into the contest. And maybe you like your garage door. Tell that guy across the street who's got that ugly door you're tired of staring at, hey, you may be interested in this contest. Want somebody to win, and we would love to hear your story. Full contest rules available on our website, WTMJ.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security check get garnished, or a lien put on your house so you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a plan to solve your situation right now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. Call now, 844-222-1192, or visit rightchoicetax.us.
Connect with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
Traffic sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric. It's bestelect.com, Debbie.
All right, looking pretty good right now. Full freeway speeds around the entire area. Nothing major to slow you down. Volume's just starting to wake up a little bit. Just that's all. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Small chance for isolated rain shower this morning, mainly west of Milwaukee. Then most of the day will be windy and warm. Temperatures in the mid-60s by the lake, low to mid-70s inland. We'll look at the chance for a line of storms to roll in late tonight through this evening. Some of those storms could have some strong gusty winds. As we head into Saturday, breezy winds, high temperatures in the lower 60s with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Still the small chance for rain shower, but winds will gust as high as 45 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy and colder on Sunday with high temperatures in the lower 40s. 50s are back on Monday with mostly sunny skies, and partly cloudy skies for Tuesday with a high temperature near 60. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 42 degrees.
Vince, we've had another issue with the airplane, and there's video that people are seeing on all the televisions of passengers standing on the wing of a plane.
Not what you want to see.
Passengers
At least
on board.
they were on the ground at that point.
Great point. A flight from Colorado Springs to Dallas made their intended destination 7 hours late after an issue on board.
Shortly after departing Colorado Springs, the crew of American Airlines Flight 1006 noticed vibration in one of the 737's two engines. The plane was diverted north to Denver, where it landed and taxied to a gate. That's when the right engine caught fire. 12 passengers were taken to hospitals for injuries suffered in the evacuation.
So not that big of a deal, right? However,
Orderly, everybody.
People on board starting to freak out a little bit. Once that plane engine went and they have to evacuate, they're on the tarmac, but still. One of the issues you run into is if it's not the actual incident that's going to injure you, it's the people. You have all these people trying to climb themselves out of there.
A lot of people were screaming profanities and things like that, like, get the door open.
That's Frank Hibbets. He was one of the passengers.
It was just a bunch of panicky people around me, and the gentleman right next to me was a fireman, so he was trying to calm everybody down.
So this is Ingrid here, though, and she says there's a reason why people were getting freaked out.
The plastic of the window was melting and bubbling, and people were screaming.
So you're seeing that, right? If you're seeing the heat cause this issue, it's going to cause some panic.
People were standing in the aisle forever, and then by the time we got out, we were pushed out onto the wing, and there wasn't a slide or anything where I was. My husband was in the back of the plane. He went out on a slide, and my girls were in the front of the plane. We were all sitting in different areas, so we all had different experiences, but we all got off safely.
So again, nobody seriously hurt, but there is video of this. You're going to see it on all the TV shows this morning. The FAA now investigating this as a crew reported engine vibrations, which later would lead to this evacuations right near the gate.
Because when you're in that situation, you're told to just do what the flight attendants tell you, whatever. Yeah. But you have to be confident that everybody knows what's going on. Right. And then when when the fire starts to get close to you, you start to wonder,
am I going to get out?
Right. Am I going to get out?
Right.
And that's when people lose their minds. Glad everyone's off safe. 6:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for my pals at Kohler Services. Hey, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now might be a great time to turn to Kohler Services and see what they can do for you. They're family owned for 150 years. Kohler is Wisconsin's manufacturer providing care for life. I mean, who doesn't know about Kohler, all right? Well, this month they've got an awesome deal going on. You can get $1,000 off your Luckstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. It's a great deal. What they do is they'll send someone out to your home, take a look at your shower space. They'll do some measurements. They'll even sit down and show you what they can design for you. They'll let you actually hold the Luckstone shower material. That's their crushed stone material that they make the walls out of. It's gorgeous. And they can help you plan out what it's going to look like and have a free quote and let you know all the different things that they can do for you. I am stoked. I cannot wait for this to start as they came out to my home to check things out. So again, it is $1,000 off your Luckstone shower remodel and no payment financing till 2026 for this month only. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Wisconsin and Marquette survive and advance. Both play today in their respective conference tournaments.
Marquette gets a Joplin three.
Holla at your boy.
Again.
Holla at your boy.
One more time.
Holla at your boy.
Marquette up 4.
Marquette with Homer and Tony Smith on the call, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, as the Golden Eagles came all the way back from a 14-point second-half deficit to beat Xavier 89-87. The final. Head coach Shaka Smart talking with Homer after the game.
The way you won has to be so special given recent games, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how adversity makes, when you are able to break through and have a big, close win like today, makes that even more special.
Up next, St. John's in a 5:30 tip. Homer and Tony back at it tonight from Madison Square Garden. Badgers will play this afternoon. Wisconsin takes care of Northwestern 70-63 in the Big Ten Conference Tournament. So Bucky has UCLA this afternoon. That's a 1:30 tip in Indianapolis. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Bucks take care of the Lakers 126-106 at Fiserv Forum. No LeBron. He was nearly a triple-double for Giannis. Luka had like 45 points in the game. Pretty neat moment during the play.
Here's a lob up top. Great feed from Dame up top to Sims, who sends it down with a thunderous two-hand slam and a great 1-2 punch there. Starting to see that more often. Jericho Sims, he's a rim runner.
Yeah, he is. So Sims, who came over in the Kuzma trade, it's interesting. So that was an alley-oop from Dame. And Dame talked about how, we've started to become kind of friendly and buddies, and it's working on the court now. Listen to what he said when he first actually introduced himself to Sims when he first was traded.
We was both in there lifting at the same time. It was just us. And I was like, man, do you ever talk? And he just started smiling, and he was like, yeah, I do. I was like, I've never even heard you talk. Like, you've been here a couple of days. And I asked him, what do you go by? Like, I'm not about to be calling you Jericho every time I call your name. And he was like, J-Rock, Jumpman. And I was like, I would never call you Jumpman. It's one Jumpman that I'm going to acknowledge as Jumpman, and we laughed about it.
Yeah, so he said that kind of broke the ice, and he says it's really come to some now where they have this partnership there on the court you can kind of see. So kind of cool.
Welcome to the new guy.
Yeah.
6:50 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I remember I never spoke in front of a podium until the NFC Championship game.
See the world from his perspective.
With all due respect, why were you asked to go to the podium?
To be podium guy.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
What do you mean with all due respect?
I didn't want it to come off like I was being rude. I'm just curious.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It comes off incredibly. Hey, Tausch, you suck. What are you doing up at the podium? Well, thanks, Bilstad.
Presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Pastor Tim Butker here, inviting you to join us each week for Christian Crusaders. The Bible tells the greatest story ever told, one of hope, redemption, and new life. As we journey through a Bible overview and head towards Easter, we remember the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who conquered sin and the grave for us all. Grow in faith with us as we open the all-powerful Word of God. Tune in Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. The annual Friends and Family Mattress Sale is on now. So what that means is, well, let me have someone else tell you, because you hear from me a lot. This is Jenna, one of my fellow customers at Built Right. She wrote, mattress shopping, I've done the research for you. This is the best place to go for absolute quality at a good price. She says you should ask for JD. Says he helped us years ago find our bed and was able to help us today find the right fit for our 14-year-old. JD knows the products and has a great strategy of questions to really figure out what you need. That's exactly our experience when we shop both for a mattress and new living room furniture at Built Right. You know, the one location saves you money. And the saying goes, you got to get to Built Right today. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right. Located just off of the freeway, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
At 6:52, Debbie, what do you got?
Oh, we've got a pretty good ride shaping up. A little bit heavy on westbound 94 heading through the stadium interchange. Just a few taps on the brakes right there. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along fine. Not seeing really any issues. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast here for today. Thunderstorms likely tonight. But before we get there, high of 64 at the lake, 74 degrees inland under partly cloudy skies. Showers and storms likely overnight. Some could be on the strong side, and a low of 50 degrees. Very windy on Saturday. Winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour. Could see an isolated shower and a high 61. Sunday's high just 41 under mostly cloudy skies. Might throw in a few flurries just to remind you we're not quite there yet. 6:53 on Wisconsin's Morning News. If the heist you pull off is hilarious, what do you get charged with when you get caught? This story out of Slinger in Washington County, posted by the Slinger Police Department. Do emus fly? This one flew out of the store. So they are looking for a 4-foot-tall emu that was part of a liquor display at the local Piggly Wiggly there in Slinger, and they got pictures of the people with whom they absconded, or who absconded with this emu. Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee joins us in studio. That's not really Horicon. That's Dodge County. This is Washington County. But I'll give you that region. You're the regional authority there.
All Washington County and Dodge County Piggly Wigglies. Yes.
Why don't you break this down for us? What is going on here?
My first question is, why don't they have a picture of them walking out of the store with it? Because that's what I want to know how they got out of the store. Like, how are you getting out of the store with a 4-foot emu with nobody noticing? Right? Like, they clearly know these are the ones that did it. They've got the cameras. They've got the camera pictures of, Tanner or whatever this guy's name is, who's going to eventually...
You named him.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen
Tanner?
it?
Is that Tanner's girlfriend there with him then?
Yeah, clearly.
So
Skylar.
I think Skylar is spotted in the parking lot camera putting the emu in the trunk of her car.
Okay, yeah.
So that
looks to be a hatchback.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can.
So that's the best shot we got.
Yeah.
But you're right. If this is Tanner and Skylar, someone knows Tanner and Skylar.
Oh, without a doubt, they've got the picture of him. Like, just I don't know if he knows the camera's on him, but it looks like he knows the camera is on him. Like, that's just kind of the look he has on his face, like he's getting away with something.
I will be taking this now.
How good are your friends, Tanner? That's what you got to be asking yourself, because somebody has seen this picture and they are recognizing it. And are they going to turn you in, or are they not going to turn you in? That's the question.
There are signs up that say missing. Have you seen this bird? And there's a picture of this emu bird. So is this all just
Wait,
Shanky's
so what's
whip?
this for? Is this for, like, Liberty Mutual Insurance?
No, right.
Like, is that what this is for? They have a Liberty Mutual Insurance display at the local Piggly Wiggly?
It does beg the question, why is there an emu it's inside the pig?
Okay.
It is an advertisement for Shanky's Whip, which apparently is a whiskey. And so I don't know.
Well, I mean, this could be good for them, because I don't know if I'd ever
Shanky's
hear of
Whip
there.
is really enjoyable.
Yeah, like, I've never heard of Shanky's Whip. I may have to try it now.
Is it possible that Shanky's Whip set this up? That Shanky's Whip stole its own emu just so it could make the news?
The company, so I've got a Fox 6 report up here, and they cite, here it is on Facebook. Shanky's Whip. We need your help. We are informed by Slinger Police one of our beloved Shanky's store emus was kidnapped or birdnapped from the Slinger Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
They're saying
I believe they have a hashtag. Bring back the bird.
Yes, they do. You're right.
I thought I saw that as part of the report. And no offense to Slinger, because again, I am from Horicon.
This is
Dodge
the kind
County.
of crime that happens in Slinger.
Yeah,
all the
but
time.
I'm just saying, like, if it was going to be a stunt, I think they would have picked a different Piggly Wiggly than the Slinger Piggly Wiggly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If it was going to be a stunt, I think it would have been a different one. Again, no offense to any of the Slinger Owls out there. This is coming from a kid from Horicon, all right? Like, this is just, they're not picking the Mayville Piggly Wiggly. They're not picking the Slinger Piggly Wiggly. It's going to be a different pig.
No.
You're looking for a larger metro area? Is that
that is what I'm hinting at, yes.
Where did the sausages costumes get stolen from?
Cedarburg.
That was Cedarburg? Okay.
Yeah, they disappeared after one of their festivals.
Yeah.
And then Italian was seen out on the town that night.
That was like 10 years ago.
Out having a good time.
An outstanding usage. If you're going to do it, then
well, yeah, you gotta use it. Like I don't know what you're gonna do with the emu other than like awkwardly put it up in your apartment for a couple of days.
Gabe's right. They got it up on a phone pole, a missing flyer. Have you seen this bird? Hashtag bring home the bird.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll have to stay on top of this one.
Listen, you people in Slinger, you got to get a hold on your crime issue there. Let me tell you, this is.
I mean, if an emu could go missing,
right? You know
what's next? Penguin?
Can you imagine getting pulled over for something in Slinger today and say, "You're pulling me over, really? While the emu is still out there? Don't you all have better things to do?"
Thank you, Gabe.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Plans emerge that could transform part of the Blackstone Creek Golf Course in Germantown into a mixed-use development and a village park. A proposal includes development of 350 to 425 residential units in different phases over several years. Quad Graphics launches a promotional products division that will offer hats, pens, backpacks, and apparel emblazoned with the names of Quad customers. The new line of products and services is the latest example of the legacy commercial printer diversifying its business and expanding marketing capabilities. Chinese orthodontic manufacturer Angel Align Technology Incorporated seeks to build a $52,000 square foot facility in Oak Creek in a project expected to generate 200 jobs. Oak Creek will be the first home in the U.S. for the global orthodontic manufacturer. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's Lent. That's right, the Lenten season is here. Experience the fabulous Friday Fish Fry at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Merck here. I love the Fox and Hounds Fish Fry. It's all you can eat. It's one of the best, and it's always fantastic service. All other dinners are buy one, get one free tonight and this weekend. The pan-fried walleye, salmon, scallops, pasta, a big fresh salad, even steak and lobster, your second dinner's free. Desserts and huge ice cream drinks, I love the Brandy Alexanders, are buy one, get one free. Unwind with an old-fashioned, there's over 20 bourbons and 100 fine wines, unique dining rooms with fireplaces. The Fox and Hound sits in the Kettle Moraine Forest. The scenery is spectacular. It's a Wisconsin must-see, and your second dinner's free. Saturday, your second prime rib dinner is free. So check out the Friday Lenten Fish Fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Call and reserve at one of my favorite spots, the Fox and Hounds.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Friday, March 14th. Our top story, another setback for Milwaukee Public Schools.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A government shutdown looms.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. All quiet all over the place. It's really nice right now. We don't really have any incidents or practically any delays either. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 74 degrees today away from Lake Michigan, about 10 degrees cooler lakeside, with a chance of thunderstorms tonight. Showers and storms likely. Some could be on the strong side. Gusty winds of 30 miles an hour. low down to 50. Right now we're at 42. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 3 additional schools are closing temporarily due to possible lead dust contamination. Milwaukee Public Schools making that announcement Thursday. Starnes Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School all will close on Monday for cleaning and lead dust testing. Those schools part of an additional list of 7 others that are being looked at closely by MPS and the City Health Department. To see that full list, you can check the website, WTMJ.com.
The closure comes as thousands of MPS students are expected to be tested.
It's part of the State Health Department's goal to locate and identify lead-in students from 4 MPS schools. Kristen Payne is a parent of an MPS student who's doing her best to inform parents of the clinics.
We're trying hard to get the information out. We've got Instagram going, Facebook going, making sure that folks know about the clinic information.
Michael Harris with MPS on medical personnel on site.
MPS will have some of its nurses, parent coordinators, Milwaukee Rec on site to just support, to get folks in, make folks comfortable, and go through the process.
Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
A stabbing in Milwaukee at an apartment where a Turkish national was living with the body of his dead girlfriend for 20 days.
22-year-old Sirkan Acilad faces 1 charge of first-degree reckless homicide for the death of Silan Tut. Acilad reported her death to police on February 27th, arriving at the police administration building with a nail in his head after attempting suicide with a nail gun. Police found Tut's body with 12 stab wounds and traces of blood and cleaning supplies across the apartment. Acilad denies killing his girlfriend or trying to cover up her death. He's in custody on a $1 million bond and due back in court Wednesday. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
In Washington, the U.S. Senate will consider a spending bill today that would avert a government shutdown. Deadline is tonight. Republicans have the Senate majority, but it's likely they'll need some Democrats to come on board to approve it. Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
Basically one path to keep the government from shutting down. One door unlocked, and Democrats have the keys.
Now, some Democrats say that spending bill gives too much power to the executive branch. They're pushing for a shorter-term continuing resolution, otherwise known as a CR.
A major thoroughfare in Austin, Texas, still closed this morning after a deadly pileup overnight.
The first paramedics to arrive on Interstate 35 on the northern edge of Austin found the twisted remains of 17 vehicles, including an 18-wheeler.
This incident was incredibly chaotic, and it was spread out over about 1/10 of a mile.
Austin Travis County EMS Captain Krista Stedman says 5 people, including a child and an infant, were killed. 4 of the 11 taken to various hospitals were in critical condition. Investigators still have no idea how the crash happened. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Another aviation incident, this time at Denver International.
Orderly, orderly! That airplane inferno sent passengers running through blinding smoke Thursday evening at Denver's airport.
I look out the window and there's flames.
Ingrid Hibbets and her family were on board American Airlines Flight 1006 as the cabin filled with smoke.
I'm really grateful that this happened on the ground, because if this happened in the air, I don't think I'd be standing here telling you the story.
That flight from Colorado Springs to Dallas ended up in Denver. That was CBS's Chris Van Cleve. Airport officials say at least 12 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, but no serious problems.
Coming up, why more women are getting this medical procedure. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hardworking, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors. Grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Marquette and Wisconsin survive and advance sports at 7:15.
A faculty job, and several of them on the chopping block now as part of St. Norbert College's newest rounds of cuts. St. Norbert's up near Green Bay. According to the information from the school, 21 positions will be cut this year and 6 more next year. In all, only 66 full-time positions will be left on the campus.
More women are getting surgical sterilizations. Clinical assistant professor at UW-Madison, Dr. Laura Hank, telling us the Spanning the State program why medical professionals are seeing a rise in that procedure.
In the post-Dobbs era, in that year afterwards, Wisconsin was very much a gray area. We didn't know if abortions were allowed or not, and so people were scared as to what was going to happen. So they were seeking to, control their bodily autonomy.
Dr. Hanks reports sterilization rates will likely change again when the state Supreme Court hears arguments about Wisconsin's current law.
The Medical College of Wisconsin is entering the final stages of construction on its new cancer research facility located at the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center campus there near Freighter.
The state-of-the-art 161,000 square foot Center for Cancer Discovery will allow more patients groundbreaking access to cancer treatments. Medical College of Wisconsin's Dr. Ben Weston.
We're excited to have this new cancer facility to really do cutting-edge research on cancer therapies and treatments.
The facility will also feature dedicated space to support the development of investigator-led startups that focus on accelerating innovative cancer therapeutics.
I think sometimes we forget how lucky we are to have these research facilities so close to us, top-of-the-line care in the world right next door.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The building's construction remains on track and occupancy is planned for early fall of this year.
Coming up on 7:10, we get your WTMJ 5-day forecast in a moment, including the chance for some strong storms tonight. That's next.
The deeper the hole, the more damage you're going to cause, especially if you're driving around with low tire pressure.
We're talking about potholes, and if you're not careful, they'll spring up out of nowhere and bite you right in the keister.
We've fixed broken ball joints, broken control arms, blown struts, damaged wheel alignments.
You name it, we've fixed it. That wheel alignment is an adjustment of your suspension, which is a system that connects your car to its wheels.
And when your alignment's off, you get uneven, premature tire wear, and we have a fix for that too.
If a pothole is bitten you where it hurts, come to Richlands for a professional evaluation by one of our ASE certified technicians.
And at the very least, we'll make sure you have the right amount of air pressure in your tires.
And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
Due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
7:10, what's going on the roads, Debbie?
Not too much. We do have one broken down vehicle on the off-ramp to Good Hope Road from 43 northbound, but overall, we're looking at a pretty good ride. Super quiet. Happy Friday, folks. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Small chance for isolated rain shower this morning, mainly west of Milwaukee. Then most of the day will be windy and warm. Temperatures in the mid-60s by the lake, low to mid-70s inland. We'll look at the chance for a line of storms to roll in late tonight through this evening. Some of those storms could have some strong gusty winds. As we head into Saturday, breezy winds, high temperatures in the lower 60s with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Still the small chance for rain shower, but winds will gust as high as 45 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy and colder on Sunday with high temperatures in the lower 40s. 40s. 50s are back on Monday with mostly sunny skies, then partly cloudy skies for Tuesday with a high temperature near 60. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 42 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
Tomorrow, the lead screening clinic for Milwaukee Public Schools students whose buildings may be poisoning them. Sorry, that's what it is. That clinic is tomorrow at Bradley Tech High School.
Happening today.
Day brings a mix of good and bad news. First, the bad. 3 more MPS schools, as you heard in the top of the hour news, set to close next week. Administration, staff, students relocating to other schools temporarily. Imagine the disruption to learning, to getting anything done as they navigate this once again. But those schools, upon inspection by the Milwaukee Health Department, found to be unsafe for students, staff, anyone, due to elevated levels of lead contamination. Those schools, again, Starnes Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori School, La Follette School. Parents notified they will all close on Monday. Buses will be rerouted, but for families that get their kids to school in another way, they got to find a new routine, new plan. Everyone has to adjust to that. Obviously, the students' physical safety paramount, Erik, but we look at the challenges already facing MPS in educating students.
So what? And today, the district is going to walk reporters through one of the buildings.
So that's the good news happening today. Students and staff are set to return to Trowbridge Street School. They've been at an alternate location near downtown for the last 2 weeks.
So we'll get the firsthand look at what that looks like now.
Milwaukee Health Department saying the cleanup there is complete, safe for classes to resume. Health Department planning that 5:30 walkthrough and briefing tonight to explain these actions further and talk about continued next steps. Here's the other part. They are still looking at an additional 7 schools, inspecting those schools, investigating whether they might perhaps need to be shut down for cleanup and lead remediation. And back to the earlier point, MPS parents encouraged, particularly at those schools, to have their children tested for lead poisoning. There's this clinic at Bradley Tech High School. That is tomorrow from 9 to 1. Expect a lot more questions to be answered tonight at the Health Department briefing in conjunction with MPS. Maybe about the status of those other schools. Are those likely or even possible of closing? And you keep asking, how did we get here?
Right. Why did it take this long to figure this out?
We've detailed so many of the challenges facing MPS in the education of students, their financial issues, all of this. But at the very basic level, your schools are allowed to find a state of such disrepair that they're flat unhealthy for people to be in.
And I mean, the idea of lead testing and lead levels and lead poisoning has been a mainstream conversation in this city for how long now?
A couple of decades. I mean, I remember covering it when I was a reporter first coming back, like early 2000s.
We're spending 2025.
How much money replacing lead laterals and pipes for the water that goes into homes? That's been a major focus. But could it all along have been one of the problems with lead poisoning in the city was happening right here where we send the kids to school? And didn't anybody think of that at any point heretofore? I mean, the good news is they're addressing it, and it's getting cleaned up. Trowbridge, an example of that. They shut it down. They cleaned it up. And it's safe for people to go back today. 7:15, sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Menards is the one-stop shop for huge savings on new, energy-efficient appliances. Upgrade your home today and save big on top appliance brands, including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion. Buy now, save now on Whirlpool appliances you can take home today. Check out our entire selection of home appliances on Menards.com. Plus, view the weekly flyer for many other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Have you seen them yet? If you have, you know what I'm talking about. Bugs in the house. The Box Elders, Vince Vitrano here for the Bugman, and Queen Bee, your best in local pest defense. Bugman, Adam over there told me when we pop these warmer days, boy, we're going to hit highs in the mid-70s today away from Lake Michigan. That's when you're going to start seeing those guys and the other bugs waking up, appearing on the windowsill, on the floor, in the sink, in the bathtub drain. Got bad news for you. They likely spent the winter inside your walls. Ugh. Good news for you is the Bugman offers the Seasonal Invader service, which will flush them out, take care of the problem before they all wake up and fill your home this spring. Let's stop the problem before it starts with this local, family, veteran-owned and operated company based right here in West Dallas. 20% off your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you to Bugman, queenbee.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited puts cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Wisconsin and Marquette both still alive in their respective conference tournaments. Both play again today. Badgers beat Northwestern 70-63 in the Big Ten Conference Tournament. Wisconsin plays UCLA in a 1:30 tip this afternoon. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. For the Golden Eagles.
At half court, Conwell, the three, banked it in.
Of course he did.
He banked it in, but it doesn't matter. That means the final. Marquette 89, Xavier 87. Yep, Marquette getting a chance to play St. John's again.
Ooh. You heard Homer right.
Hey, they almost beat St. John's.
St. John's today in the quarterfinals. St. John's just beat Marquette in overtime Saturday to close the regular season. MU was down 14 points in this one. Head coach Shaka Smart of the guys sticking together.
Halftime was important because the way that the guys looked and the way that they talked to each other was as if we have a chance to win the game, even though we were losing by double figures.
Marquette and St. John's. Homer and Tony Smith on the call, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 5:30 at Madison Square Garden.
This time of year, doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win. At Fiserv Forum.
And here's Giannis ripping the cords on a pull-up jumper from mid-range.
Yes, ripping the cords he did. A near triple-double for Giannis as the Bucks get a much-needed win over the Los Angeles Lakers. Giannis would have 24 points, 11 rebounds, 9 dimes. LeBron didn't play. I swear he never comes to Milwaukee. Luka had 45 points and 11 rebounds.
I'm offended, although I'm glad he stayed home.
Big weekend ahead for the Deer. They have two big games. Saturday against the Pacers, and that's a big deal because we all hate the Pacers, and that game, there's some
just a thorn in our side.
Yes, Halliburton, man, that guy, the 9-2-0. Then the number one team in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are here on Sunday. Great news from camp there in Arizona for the Brewers. Brewers and Giants this afternoon. We'll have that game right here on WTMJ. The Big Woo is going to pitch on Sunday. Brandon Woodruff will be on the mound in Sunday's game against the Guardians, so that's exciting. He hasn't pitched against Major League Heating since the fall of 2023, so it's been a bit. So it'll be great to have him back out there. It's going to be a bit before he actually pitches in real primetime games, but we'll get there. Vinny Capra keeps on raking. Dude hit another one on Thursday. Not a home run, but he got another hit. Infielders batting .346, 5 home runs this spring, really making a push to make the roster. So, Capra, what is your secret?
I think part of the results is not worrying about the result.
Well, all right. Well,
actually, easier said than done, man. Good for you.
I love what he said about that. He talks about how you can't overthink anything, especially when you're in the cages and all that. He says you can't just sit and tinker. You just got to swing the bat.
I don't want to search for something that's not there. I don't want to keep trying to do too much. So I think simplifying that and doing not as little as possible, but not overdoing the mechanics and trying to dive in on a day where you don't feel good, chalk it up to fatigue.
Yeah, you may not be hitting just because it's a slower day that day. You don't have to overthink it and try to change everything. Just go about your plan.
Girls basketball state championships underway in Green Bay today. These local teams try to make it to Saturday's finals. Arrowhead and Muskego in Division I. Sadly, they're on the same side of the bracket, so they play each other in that D1 nightcap this evening. Winner will advance to play either Appleton East or Kimberly from the Fox Valley. Division II semis this afternoon. Sweet alma mater Wauwatosa East facing West De Pere. Division III semis were Thursday, Oostburg over Laconia, so Oostburg will play in the title game against Appleton Xavier Saturday afternoon.
Wisconsin winters are unpredictable.
This is history. Never had a tornado touchdown in February.
We keep you updated on blizzards.
Winter storm warning has been issued for all of southeast Wisconsin, and it's going to get really, really dicey.
Blackouts.
Tens of thousands of customers across southeast Wisconsin are without power this morning.
Icy roads.
Very, very slick conditions pretty much everywhere.
And more. with WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and at WTMJ.com.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Spring is upon us. Certainly feels that way with highs in the mid-70s. You're going to be outside. You're going to be doing stuff. Whether you're looking forward to softball or tennis, maybe you have a kid going out for a spring sport, keep Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin top of mind. Nobody plans ahead for injuries, but rest easy knowing where to go and that you're in good hands should an injury arise. Now available 7 days a week for walk-ins or 24/7 virtually. OAW specializes in total joint, spine, and sports medicine. And not only is Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin convenient, but here's the care you're going to get. 19 OAW physicians were named Milwaukee Lifestyle Top Doctors of 2025. Experience their exceptional care and dedication to all of us, their patients. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry's RO system. It's technology that's been around for a long time, but it's the best in the business, and Guthrie and Fry will get it to you. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Morning Drive update, Debbie.
Okay, starting to see some taps on the brakes on 94 eastbound coming out of the, Highway F area. And then again from the Stadium interchange to about the 27th Street. The westbound side, all clear right now. Same thing for 43 and 41. But all these areas are looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com. The WTMJ forecast brought to you by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. And as we're on the front end of some potentially strong storms this evening, we bring in WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen. Before we get to the weather, Copleen.
Yes, go ahead.
You are a proud Pewaukee High School graduate, and your kids went there as well.
Yep.
Where are the Pewaukee girls at the state tournament this year?
Oh, they took a brutal upset in the sectional championship. Got knocked out by Kimberly. It was a heartbreaking loss.
All right,
it really was.
Sorry to bring it up. I just needed an explanation. I'm like, where's Pewaukee? This must be a mistake.
Thanks for revisiting this.
Yes. All right, Craig. So part of the country is for sure going to get tornadoes. I mean, the forecasting over the last maybe 10, 15 years, Craig, where National Weather Service assists in painting these sort of bullseyes on the anticipated severe weather areas. We're looking at some real devastating weather in parts of the country. So I'll start you there, and then we'll get into what we might see.
Yeah, and a somewhat large part of the country has a high potential for seeing widespread tornadoes, and some of them intense. And that starts in southern Iowa, so from around Des Moines south into Missouri, and then across much of Illinois, and then farther south down into, let's say, northern Tennessee and Arkansas. That whole area there has a pretty high threat for tornadoes, and some of them, as I said, intense, starting this afternoon and continuing into this evening.
All right, bring us here to Wisconsin. In the forecast I've got today, storms strong. What's our severe weather risk?
Yeah, our severe weather risk isn't terribly high, but it's not zero. And it's also not going to be until later on tonight. I don't expect any thunderstorms to roll through the Milwaukee area or southeastern Wisconsin until maybe 10 or 11 o'clock at the earliest, and then continue through a couple hours past midnight. So maybe I'd bracket it and say between about 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. That's when we got the possibility of the strongest or potentially severe storms. If the storms are severe, I think they'd be severe on the strong, damaging wind side as opposed to the large hail side. But when storms come through that late at night, the atmosphere is typically not as unstable as it is during the afternoon. So we'd be moving into a relative minimum in terms of severe weather threat. So don't get the idea that I'm trying to downplay this too much, but I'm not super concerned of a widespread severe weather outlook here in southeast Wisconsin.
In today's cloud cover or lack thereof and the heat of the sun, that wouldn't change anything tonight?
Now, we're going to cool off real quickly, and especially near the lake is never really going to warm up as much as it is going to be further inland. We are not only here on the precipice of severe weather season, guys, we're also in cooler near the lake season officially today. Frankly, it's been for the last couple of days. While away from the lake today, I expect highs in the low to mid 70s. Some places right along the lakeshore might struggle to even get to 60, and even just a little bit inland might struggle to get into the low 60s. So even if we have big storms well inland, and that's where the higher threat of storms is, well inland, and by that I mean Madison, Janesville, west toward the Mississippi River. There's a pretty good probability that we're going to see severe storms and severe thunderstorms warnings there. As the storms get closer to Milwaukee, given how cool it's going to be, they're going to rapidly weaken once they get into that cooler, less stable air. There's the myth that Lake Michigan protects lakeshore areas from severe weather. That's not exactly true. Conditions have to be just right for severe weather to weaken or not occur near Lake Michigan. And today's one of those days, or tonight's going to be one of those nights. It's going to be just so cool that even if there are some pretty powerful storms around Madison, and maybe they make it all the way to Waukesha County, let's say, they should more than likely weaken pretty quickly once they get to the city of Milwaukee and other places up and down the lakeshore.
I know you're keeping an eye on it for us. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen. Appreciate it, Craig.
My pleasure.
I learned that cooler near the lake thing the hard way. My grandparents, both sets, lived in like the Bayview area. So we leave Wauwatosa and I'm in shorts. I'm like, hey, this is great. Get down and go, oh, what happened? News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 1.25%, a little bit over that, to 40,814 in trading on Thursday. The NASDAQ finished the day down almost 2% to 17,303. S&P 500 at 5522. That was off about 78 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Finally home. Oh, God, what's wrong?
I'm tired of this old, beaten down, ugly garage door.
All right, it's not that bad.
Really? It's so old.
Yeah?
And it breaks all the time.
Okay, yeah, I hear you.
It's dirty, it's loud, it doesn't even close.
Give your old garage door new life. Get a new garage door from Lifetime Door Company. Register to win a free door plus free installation at WTMJ.com.
It doesn't even close and the track is dented.
Okay, you've made your point.
Look at the windows, they're busted.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage?
Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
7:31, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, March 14th, our top story, a gruesome scene in a Milwaukee apartment.
I'm Erik Bilstad, the first thunderstorm of the year.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We're seeing some delays northbound on 43 now, starting around Center Street all the way up to Keith. Eastbound 94, slow right through the Stadium interchange to about 27th Street. And then on eastbound, also right through the Barker Road area, going to be a little tight. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
64 degrees, your lakeside high, 74 away from the lake under partly cloudy skies. Thunderstorms tonight, right now, 43 in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Hamas says it will release the last American hostage being held in Gaza, Idan Alexander. It is also promising to release the bodies of 4 more hostages who died after being taken on October 7th. Another aviation-related incident, this one in Colorado. ABC's Jim Ryan.
American Airlines Flight 1006 left Colorado Springs and was headed for Dallas-Fort Worth when the crew checked in with air traffic controllers.
We just have a high engine vibration, so we are cruising slower than normal.
The audio from liveatc.net. The flight diverted to Denver and was parked at a gate when the right engine appears to have caught fire. A dozen of the nearly 180 people on board were hospitalized for injuries suffered in the evacuation of the plane. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A vote expected today in the Senate on the continuing resolution that would keep the government open past this weekend. Democratic leader Chuck Schumer saying he's a yes vote because he says the consequences of a government shutdown under President Trump would be disastrous. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:33.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, living next to a dead body for weeks, 22-year-old Serkan Akibad from Milwaukee charged now with first-degree reckless homicide of his girlfriend. According to authorities, he reported her death to police February 27th, but she died in late January. Akibad turned himself in to police. At the time, he had a nail in his head. He claimed he had attempted suicide with a nail gun. His bond is set at $1 million.
Another plea deal in the death of a man outside the Hyatt Hotel in downtown Milwaukee. This happened last year. Herbert Williamson, one of 4 men who dragged Devontae Mitchell out of the hotel. Mitchell would die from the incident. Herbert Williamson, one of those men, he originally was charged with felony murder. Now he's agreeing to a plea deal. He is the second suspect to do so.
3 additional Milwaukee public schools closing temporarily due to unsafe lead dust levels. Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School all set to close on Monday for cleaning and additional testing. These schools part of an additional list of 7 other schools that are under investigation by MPS and the City Health Department for lead dust. Full list is up on our website, WTMJ.com.
Milwaukee's County Courthouse Complex is in need of an upgrade. Greater Milwaukee Committee President Joel Brennan on WTMJ's Midday News.
The courts are there, and you've got defendants in the courts who walk right by people who are going to be on jury panels and people who are going to be testifying against them. And there's a whole host of reasons why that 100-year-old building is just not good enough anymore.
Brennan says the overall project would cost close to $500 million. The governor has proposed $25 million towards courthouse updates in his biennial budget plan.
Traffic is sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric. It's bestelect.com.
Connect with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. With the trending spring and summer European travel season, Fox European experts mean you can maximize your time soaking up the warm weather, blooming flowers, and vibrant landscapes without worrying about your travel or missing a moment. Port hop along the Mediterranean with Viking or Princess, or design your own bucket list adventure with Insight Vacations. Visit us online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Your European immersion awaits.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I can't believe how well Milwaukee Weight Loss is working. I've only been doing it for 8 weeks. I've already lost over 43 pounds. I'm well on my way to my ultimate goal. I have a coach who helps me out. Everything is going terrific.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Sports coming up at 7:45. Marquette and Wisconsin play again today. We'll do it then.
So tomorrow's the big day. St. Patrick's Day isn't until Monday, but tomorrow is the giant parade in downtown Milwaukee. The annual Shamrock Club of Wisconsin St. Patrick's Day Parade is Saturday at noon. So the parade director, Mark Boyle, he was on WTMJ Spanning the State earlier this week.
The annual St. Patrick's Day Parade is a celebration of Irish pride, history, culture. The Irish organizations in Milwaukee all take part. There's lots of music and color and dancing.
Mm-hmm. So the parade starts right in front of the 3rd Street Market Hall, right where we are here located on Wisconsin Avenue. We do have the route and all the closures on the old website at WTMJ.com, if that's something you want to participate in.
Can confirm on the dancing. I told you both my daughters were Irish dancers for Glencastle for many years, and you looked at this day, you could get snow. I mean, girls danced in like 3 sweatshirts and whatever on some days. We're looking at a high of 61 tomorrow, chance of an isolated shower, and those curls are going to be blowing. It'll be really windy in downtown Milwaukee.
So do we know when is the official celebration? I mean, St. Patrick's Day, you always celebrate that on St. Patrick's Day, right? It's not like Halloween where they kind of always find the Saturday of.
This town, St. Patrick's Day is a week.
Okay.
Right? Don't you think?
So Miller Free Rides, they're doing their
tonight.
stuff early. Yeah.
Miller Rides are Saturday night. You got the parade on Saturday.
But then the actual day of like getting up early and going all day is Monday.
Keep it going.
Okay.
That's just how we roll. 7:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
According to the Census Bureau, more than 12,000 Americans are turning 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. 65 is traditional retirement age because it matches up with Medicare, but Gallup found 61 is the average retirement age. Some Annex clients retire early, but we also have clients working at 70 because they love what they do. You know why? Because they've got plans built by fee-only fiduciaries, plans custom tailored to their lifestyle. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work building investment, retirement, tax, and estate plans in their best interest. Proper retirement planning doesn't start the week before you retire. Having a focused plan built by our in-house teams will go a long way in helping you reach the retirement you desire. It all starts with the conversation you probably already have in the back of your mind. It's time to put that into action and contact Annex. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Checking in with Debbie here at 20 minutes before 8 o'clock.
All right, things starting to kick in a little bit now. Northbound 43 slowing down from just north of Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound still clear. Westbound 94 backing up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, you're looking at backups from about Hawley Road through the Stadium Interchange as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Small chance for isolated rain shower this morning, mainly west of Milwaukee. Then most of the day will be windy and warm. Temperatures in the mid-60s by the lake, low to mid-70s inland. We'll look at the chance for a line of storms to roll in late tonight through this evening. Some of those storms could have some strong gusty winds. As we head into Saturday, breezy winds, high temperatures in the lower 60s with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Still the small chance for rain shower, but winds will gust as high as 45 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy and colder on Sunday with high temperatures in the lower 40s. 50s are back on Monday with mostly sunny skies, then partly cloudy skies for Tuesday with a high temperature near 60. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp 43 degrees. Wisconsin's morning news. Putting this back on your radar. We're going to launch again today, or
the plan
for the first time. The plan is with NASA and the SpaceX Crew 10 now set to lift off no earlier than, so they must have a window that opens at 6:03 p.m. our time.
Oh, okay.
But there's some flexibility within that, so it doesn't have to go off at 6:03. But I believe that's what they're targeting there at the Kennedy Space Center. This would be a crew of 2 United States astronauts, an astronaut from Japan, and then a cosmonaut from Russia set to go up. But this mission really for NASA tonight is more about who they're going to get. And Sonny and Butch, the astronauts, who've been marooned, if you will, on the space station for 9 months after completing a 1-week trip.
We talked to that aerospace educator yesterday, and he's like, I hate that term.
Right.
He's like, they are not stranded.
They're not stranded. They're not stuck. If they needed to be, there were emergency measures that they could have gotten off of there. The thing is, like, NASA was always going to target some other launch at some other point to get them back. They weren't in any danger.
Also thought it was an interesting point he made that these people will take any opportunity to stay in space. If you give them an extra day, that's amazing to them. So they're both in the twilight of their careers.
Yeah,
so
he
being
said
able
this
to
is
wrap
their
up,
last trip, right?
They wrap up their space travel in this way. He says that he would believe that they'd be ecstatic over it.
And even when you're excited about your work trip, there are pangs of missing home, right? If you love your work and whatever, you look at, I don't know, anybody in sports, or that was a long road trip. Yeah, but you get to play sports. Like, you're a professional athlete or whatever. Yeah, but you still miss home.
Right.
So you grant them that, but they are in Earth orbit, which is something only a few hundred people have ever done. Ever. In the history of humankind.
So if they launch today, it'll be they would attach or connect with the ISS sometime over the weekend, and then
they're looking at Saturday for when the capsule then, they get up there and knock on the door and dock with the International Space Station, and then a few days of this is where this is where that is. Transition team.
This is where you put the coffee.
Yes. Hey, this guy over here, because there are other people up there as well continuing their missions. This guy over here, you don't want to talk to that guy. He's not cool. She's real nice. She'll talk to you about whatever. This guy, no. Avoid him. But yes,
he's a bit of a close talker.
There's some of that transition that will occur, so they don't just get right in and peel out. We are out of here.
See him.
So that would be next week. That is, if things go off this evening. Earliest they could launch 6:03 our time. 7:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. The markets have been unpredictable, and if you're close to retirement, that uncertainty it can be stressful. So how do you protect your savings while still growing your investments? That's exactly what Drake & Associates helps Wisconsinites do. Since 2002, they've guided good people to make great decisions about retirement with their exclusive Retirement Roadmap, a comprehensive holistic approach to planning. Right now, they're offering a complimentary retirement toolkit featuring Tony Drake's book, Get Retirement Ready, plus 5 guides to help you navigate market ups and downs with confidence. To claim yours, call or text Drake to 414-400-4692. That's Drake to 414-400-4692.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, features Yutka Fence. Family owned for 57 years. Yutka Fence, your trusted provider of vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer satisfaction, Yutka is your reliable partner for all your fencing projects. And they're not just building fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. And tell them you're a WTMJ fan. Get 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bucks and Lakers at Fiserv Forum, and how about this? Bucks looking good, a near triple-double for Giannis as the Deer win.
And the Bucks will snap the 3-game losing streak tonight with a 126-106 win against a short-handed Lakers team tonight that they'll see exactly 1 week from now.
That's right, Dave came with the call there. Giannis would have 24 points, 11 boards, 9 dimes. No LeBron. Luka Doncic did have 45 points, though. Big win for the Bucks after those 3 brutal losses in a row. And they have a huge weekend. Got 2 big games at home. Saturday against the Pacers, and that's one where you want to win and stay ahead of those guys in the standings. Then you have the number 1 team in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder, in town on Sunday. Of course, you can hear those games on WTMJ Radio. By the way, speaking of the NBA, congrats to Warriors legend Steph Curry, who just keeps on hitting. Dude made his 4,000th three-pointer. 4,000. You want to hear the call?
Sure.
It's a guy, Kevin Harlan.
What if I had said no?
Well, you always want to hear the call. We're always curious about these calls.
Here comes Curry, hit a 3, but that's it. Diving for it, Monk. Curry thought about 3. He'll put up a 3. There it is! Number 4,000. A shot for the ages from a player for the ages. Truly the portrait of an artist.
All right, the portrait of an
well
artist.
done, Harlan.
Nice call.
Truly the portrait
That
of an
guy
artist.
literally changed the game of basketball. Now, some would say it's probably not better at the moment. A lot of people just jacking threes all the time, but that one man has changed the entire game of basketball.
Sticking with hoops, Wisconsin and Marquette survive and advance, both playing in their
Kevin
respective
Harlan, I'm talking about.
conference tournaments.
3. Holla at your boy. Again. Holla at your boy. One more time. Holla at your boy. Marquette up 4.
Marquette with Homer and Tony Smith on the call, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, as the Golden Eagles came all the way back from a 14-point second-half deficit to beat Xavier, 89-87. Up next, St. John's, a 5:30 tip. Homer and Tony back at it tonight on the call from Madison Square Garden. Badgers will play this afternoon. Wisconsin takes care of Northwestern 70-63 in the Big Ten tournament. So Bucky has UCLA this afternoon. That's a 1:30 tip from Indianapolis.
We got Brewers baseball this afternoon. Brewers and Giants from Arizona, 3 p.m. start here on WTMJ. By the way, we have Brewers all weekend as well. So we got 2 Bucks games tomorrow and Sunday. We also have 2 Brewers games tomorrow and Sunday. And on Sunday, Brandon Woodruff will take the mound for the first time in a long time for your crew.
You told me to get new music. You weren't happy with my pep band music the other day.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's
more like a basketball.
Can hear that. Here we go.
A heartbeat away from a state title, Oostburg over Laconia in the state semifinal, the girls basketball championship going on right now in Green Bay. So Oostburg will play Appleton Xavier in the championship Saturday afternoon. Division IV, the Prairie School in Racine fell to Cuba City, so their title hopes come to an end. Playing this afternoon, sweet alma mater Wauwatosa East in the Division II semifinal against West De Pere. And in D1, both our local teams ended up on the same side of the bracket, so either Arrowhead or Muskego will advance to play for a championship tomorrow in Green Bay.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss, Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
7:52, what's happening on the drive, Debbie?
Well, we got some slowdowns northbound on 43, basically from Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Southbound still nice and quiet. Westbound 94 slowing down from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got some pockets of heavy traffic from about 76th Street to Holly Road, and then again from Mitchell Boulevard all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm Team forecast for today brought to you by Dave Drake Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Thunderstorms tonight. Before that, a high of 64 at the lake, 74 inland under partly cloudy skies. Windy with those storms, and some of them could be on the strong side with a low of 50 tonight. Saturday, very windy. Winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour on our way to a high of 61. Isolated shower also possible on Saturday. Cooling way back off on Sunday with a high of just 41 and some flurries possible. Right now, 43 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
They are going to make moves.
Innovator.
Don't be shocked if it's, and this is where it gets real sexy, if it's an interior offensive lineman.
That is very sexy, you bet.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
So I know Bilstad loves all the podium guys and all the pretty faces. When you look at who wins, it's the big uglies. The Chiefs didn't have the big uglies this year. The Eagles did. The Eagles are the Super Bowl champs.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Hey, Tausch, I want to play you a soundbite from Damian Lillard. So Lillard and Jericho Sims, who's just traded to the Bucks this year in that Kuzma trade, have started to grow a chemistry. They had a really awesome alley-oop last night in the Bucks win over the Lakers. And Lillard told this story after the game about how, he had to introduce himself to Sims because he says Sims never talked.
We was both in there lifting at the same time. It was just us. And I was like, man, do you ever talk? And he just started smiling. And he was like, yeah, I do. I was like, I've never even heard you talk. You've been here a couple of days. And I asked him, what do you go by? I'm not about to be calling you Jericho every time I call your name. And he was like, J-Rock, Jumpman. And I was like, I would never call you Jumpman. It's one Jumpman that I'm going to acknowledge as Jumpman. And we laughed about it.
So now they've grown this chemistry because they've become kind of buddies off the court as well.
I was thinking about that, Tausch, though. We look at trades in pro sports. You're like, well, this part to that part, this guy to this place. But you got guys walking into a whole new environment. You don't know anybody. What's that like when somebody new just shows up in the locker room?
Yeah, it's really tough, and you could look at it from if you went to a new school or anytime you have something new. It's always nice to for someone to come up and say hello. But I think I look at it, and obviously I played my whole career in Green Bay. My first 3 or 4 months, I didn't hardly talk. And I'm sure you guys think now, what the heck, you never shut up.
Impossible.
But,
that's right.
Yeah, I know Bilstad thought that. But right. As far as you just kind of go about your business, and it's more on the older guys, I believe, to reach out, like what Dame did there, I think is really powerful because, you're talking about a guy that is, been in different places and then comes to Milwaukee, probably didn't know anybody, is trying to fit in, trying to figure out the basketball side of it, think about anything else. And when somebody reaches out, when you're kind of in that state, you can really bond. And I think that is real. That's a really cool story. And that's how you end up developing that chemistry. It's real easy when everybody loves you and you're kind of the guy, and everybody wants to talk to you. It's a lot more difficult when you're kind of one of the last guys on the roster, or someone that is kind of an afterthought as far as that trade went. And then for you to reach out and be one of the star players and do that, that's how you build that chemistry that championship teams end up getting. It's not because these guys are all talented. It's that bond that you can form together. And when you're making in-season trades, it makes it that much more difficult. And you have to love hearing a story like that.
I'm trying to think back to your playing career, Tausch. I mean, much of it in the Ted Thompson era, where we never made any moves of any kind. So, was there anybody that got added to the room that either fit or didn't fit?
Yeah, I mean, there's always, even with the fact that Ted didn't do a ton of free agency pickups, draft picks.
Yeah,
I think that for me it was always, how can I make people as comfortable as possible, but still, kind of bust chops, and you want everyone to kind of feel included and welcomed. And, for me, when I got there, it was, the older guys were awesome. And then that kind of, you try to pass that down every year you're there, that somebody new comes in. And like Corin Robinson is somebody who came in, I want to say it was either mid-season or real early in the season, and had some stuff that had happened in the past. And I think everybody saw that he was a real talented guy. And you just tried to be as welcoming as you could. Terry Glenn is another example of someone that when you first saw him practice, you're like, oh my God, that is a talented cat. And if they want to, there's going to be some guys that are just going to be quiet. And it's really hard to kind of bring them out of their shell, and that's fine too. But you just want to kind of give any little avenue to let somebody feel a little bit more comfortable.
Who was not cool to you when you started? Give me one guy you avoided.
Everybody was awesome. I won't name any names.
All right, fine. Who was the guy you went to when you needed a hug?
Marco.
Yeah,
Marco Rivera is my hug guy. He was the best. But you asked that question, and there were, especially in professional sports, is super competitive. There was a reserve offensive lineman when I got there, and I think obviously I'm a rookie and I'm trying to take a spot. He wants a spot, and he'd always joke about pushing me down steps. In the old Lambeau offices, you'd walk up and then you'd go in this small classroom and you'd sit in these little baby desks, and there was a flight of steps that you'd walk, and we always, in between meetings, we'd stand out on the edge. And he made that joke. It's one thing if you make that joke once. He had that joke probably 3 or 4 times. And after the second time, I said, I don't think I'm going to stand at this edge of the steps when I'm standing next to you.
This is getting less funny every time, Guy. Thanks.
No, yeah, it was not. And then when he actually, fake shoved, that's when it was really getting to the point, he might be ready to actually shove me down these steps.
Thanks, my friend. We'll talk next week.
You bet.
I would never call you Jumpman.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
The place you want to go. Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, March 14th, our top story. School shutdowns in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Another hostage release.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Northbound on 43 slowing down from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. We've got westbound 94 backing up from just past 30th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got some backups from Hawley Road all the way to 35th Street as well. The bypass is looking pretty quiet as we speak. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Partly cloudy skies on our way to a high of 74 degrees, about 10 degrees cooler if you're lakeside. Thunderstorms moving in tonight. Some of them could be on the strong side with a low down to 50. Right now at 43 in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 3 additional schools set to close, at least temporarily, due to possible lead dust contamination. Milwaukee Public Schools announcing on Thursday, Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School will all close on Monday for cleaning and lead dust testing. These schools part of an additional list of 7 other schools that are still under further investigation by MPS and the Health Department for lead dust. The full list of schools is on our website, WTMJ.com.
These new closures come as 1,000 MPS students are expected to be tested for elevated levels this weekend.
It's part of the state health department's goal to locate and identify lead in students from 4 MPS schools. Kristen Payne is a parent of an MPS student who's doing her best to inform parents of the clinics.
We're trying hard to get the information out. We've got Instagram going, Facebook going, making sure that folks know about the clinic information.
Michael Harris with MPS on medical personnel on site.
MPS will have some of its nurses, parent coordinators, Milwaukee Rec on site to just support, to get folks in, make folks comfortable, and go through the process.
Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Stabbing in a Milwaukee apartment where a man was apparently living with the body of his dead girlfriend for 20 days.
22-year-old Sirkan Achilad faces one charge of first-degree reckless homicide for the death of Silan Tut. Achilad reported her death to police on February 27th, arriving at the police administration building with a nail in his head after attempting suicide with a nail gun. Police found Tut's body with 12 stab wounds and traces of blood and cleaning supplies across the apartment. Achilad denies killing his girlfriend or trying to cover up her death. He's in custody on a $1 million bond and due back in court Wednesday. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin, the race for an open state Supreme Court seat heating up and getting even more expensive. TMJ4 chief political reporter Charles Benson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the race between Susan Crawford and Brad Schimmel's become the most expensive in state history.
We thought 2 years ago, you couldn't come close again to spending that kind of money for a state Supreme Court race. That race not only broke the record, it shattered the record, not just in Wisconsin, but across the country. And now here we are approaching $60 million with less than 3 weeks to go.
Early voting begins next week.
The downward slide for stocks continuing as the tariff war escalates. President Trump standing by his decisions that are hurting the markets.
President Trump says he's not backing down from the tariffs he's imposed on major trading partners, including Canada, Mexico, and the European Union. And he downplayed the recent volatility in the markets.
There'll be a little disruption, but it won't be very long. But they need us. We really don't need them.
Hamas is set to release the last American living hostage being held in Gaza.
Hamas this morning announcing they are set to release American hostage Idon Alexander. It's also promising to release the bodies of 4 more hostages who died after being taken captive in the October 7th attack. No timeline set for the release. This comes as talks continue in Doha to try and work out the next phase of the Gaza ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Inez de la Cuetera, ABC News. At the foreign desk.
Severe weather pushing across the middle of the country could impact us here in southeast Wisconsin late this evening. Storm system now starting to cross the middle of the country. ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
Tomorrow it's Mississippi's day. And right along the state line of Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Meridian, back to New Orleans, Birmingham, all with significant EF2 plus tornadoes. We could see long track tornadoes.
WTMJ's meteorologist Craig Copleen tells us, he was on earlier this morning, that while some of those storms in our area could be on the strong side, the timing of the storms tonight in southeast Wisconsin could keep most of them below any severe limit.
When storms come through that late at night, the atmosphere is typically not as unstable as it is during the afternoon. So we'd be moving into a relative minimum in terms of severe weather threat.
Yeah, Craig says the storms could come in as late as 11 p.m. tonight, so most of the day without those storms.
So good news and bad news with that, right? It doesn't mess up your day. We get to enjoy the beautiful day. On top of that, though, if any of those storms pop severe, you don't like that to be overnight. Although Craig's saying he doesn't think it's tornadoes, it's more strong straight line winds. Might keep you up. How about that? 8:05 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The most common reason pain sufferers come to us is to be able to perform their daily tasks without suffering through them. Grandparents who want to be able to take their grandkids on walks and to the park. Or those that just want to be able to get out of their vehicle with more ease than pain. Rejuvenex pain treatments can help, and the sooner you get to calming down that pain, the better it will be. These are powerful, FDA-approved pain treatments precisely administered with an extremely small needle to get to the root of your pain. And before you know it, you'll feel the anti-inflammatory power of Toradol and the cushioning relief of hyaluronic acid. Positive patient results are regularities, not rarities. And we do this conveniently in office, so it's very easy for you. And we're in network with most insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, which could mean zero out-of-pocket costs for your pain relief treatment. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 5-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
Again with the airplanes. This a frightening incident in Colorado.
American Airlines Flight 1006 left Colorado Springs and was headed for Dallas-Fort Worth when the crew checked in with air traffic controllers.
We just have a high engine vibration, so we are cruising slower than normal.
The audio from liveatc.net. The flight diverted to Denver and was parked at a gate when the right engine appears to have caught fire. A dozen of the nearly 180 people on board were hospitalized for injuries suffered in the evacuation of the plane. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Where is the emu? Police in Slinger are searching for a pair of thieves who they say absconded with a notable avian statue.
The search is on in Washington County for a 4-foot Shanky's Whip emu statue that normally resides inside the Slinger Piggly Wiggly on Commerce Boulevard. Police say the bird nappers took the statue last Saturday afternoon in broad daylight. Shanky's Whip confirms on social media the theft is not a publicity stunt. A new emu has been added inside the Piggly Wiggly, and staff have chained it down to another display stand in order to prevent a second theft. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Now, there is surveillance video.
Did that emu know it was the backup emu?
Right,
Second
yeah.
stringer?
Is it smaller?
Yeah. Oh, now you want me? Right.
There is video of it that we've seen. Fox 6 had it, and you can see the two people. Like, you can see them clear as day, the two people that stole this emu. So,
to your point that you always make, somebody knows these two.
Somebody knows these two for sure.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:08.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors. Grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com to learn more.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service that you get from Pella. I know it's in my home, but talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do. They are fulfilling people's dreams. Well, your home, a lot of folks proud of your home. You want it to look beautiful. It's very rewarding to them, and it shows their tremendous efforts. Pella consultants take the time. They listen to every customer, help you find solutions that work for your home. They know everybody's situation is different. Maybe you have an historic old home that you're renovating. Maybe it's a new build with unique finishes. Pella designers customize your windows and doors to perfectly match any one-of-a-kind abode. They're with you from start to finish. It's like having a friend throughout the entire project and beyond. You know exactly who to call. Right now, you can take advantage of windows as low as $22 a month and doors as low as $89 a month. Certain restrictions on this deal do apply, and this ends at the end of the month. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
It's about 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, and how's the morning drive, Debbie?
Not too bad. Things are just tightening up a little bit on northbound 43 from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe, but otherwise everything else is rolling along really well. Even the delays through the stadium interchange have dissipated. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Okay, we got those potentially strong storms moving in tonight, but the day is fantastic. 64 at the lake, 74 your inland high under partly cloudy skies. Will be breezy, winds gusting up to 30 miles an hour. The showers and storms move in. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen telling us it's probably 10 o'clock or later tonight before we see the rain. And a low of 50 degrees. Very windy and partly to mostly cloudy on Saturday. Isolated shower is possible with a high of 61. Right now, 42 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Coming up on 8:13 on this Friday morning. Erik, when is St. Patrick's Day?
Monday.
Oh, is it? I've heard this from Irish nationals, people, from Ireland.
Sure.
Bigger deal here, particularly in Milwaukee and in Wisconsin, than it is in Ireland. Mm-hmm. It's St. Patrick's weekend here in Wisconsin. Things really get rolling tonight. Shamrock kickoff party at the Lucky Clover downtown. 57th Annual Shamrock Club of Wisconsin St. Patrick's Day Parade steps off on Wisconsin Avenue tomorrow at noon. 100 units, they say, more than that. Irish dancers, pipe and drum corps, festive floats, local dignitaries, 20,000 fans in attendance. Actually, with tomorrow's weather, could be even more. Ahead of the bouncing curls of the Irish dancers and the beer curls of Guinness and green-colored malt beverages, we wanted to talk a little Irish culture and Wisconsin history. Joined in studio this morning by Barry Stapleton from the Celtic MKE Center. Barry, great to see you.
Great to see you, Vince and Eric.
So
I got some shamrocks for you.
Hey, all right.
There we go.
Luck of the Irish
gifts.
there.
We'll take it. Am I accurate in my earlier comments, Barry? Like, for folks I know who are actually from Ireland, they've said, it's an important day, but we don't do a week and a half here.
No, it's pretty. We call it the green season, and it's pretty much a month.
Season, yeah.
It starts about mid-February and ends about a week after St. Patty's Day. So it's a pretty long. We call it the green season. It's the green gauntlet.
It's kind of like the 12 days of Christmas.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how did this happen? How did this become a more important day for Americans of Irish heritage? And then, of course, the rest of us pile on as well. I don't have a lick of Irish in me, but we always get excited about it. How did that happen that it became a bigger deal here in our country?
Well, Milwaukee in particular had one of the earliest St. Patrick's Day parades. We had early immigration to the United States. And so, of course, one of the big issues with them coming over was the famine. And so they wanted to keep their culture. And so it was very important. I think it's amazing that most of us Irish Americans are like 6 to 8 generations away, but still that strength, that connection to our culture is just really, really strong. It's quite amazing.
So it's interesting that you talked about the immigrants. So I'm of Sicilian descent, and I remember my grandfather talking to me about the Third Ward. And it used to be heavily Irish, and he's like, and was it after the fire that the Irish here in Milwaukee, they moved out, and he's like, they left and we moved in.
Exactly, yeah. So
my timing is off, but the story is correct.
You're correct. The Irish were very early immigrants. Mm-hmm. By the 1850 census, there was 4,500 Irish-born people living in the Third Ward. And then the fire, I believe it was the 1880s and 1890-something, that's where they had to move out. But the later immigrations from Italians, Germans, and Polish, most people think of Milwaukee as a Germanic city.
Right, yes.
But because they were larger immigrations. The numbers of the Irish we were here first, kind of, but and we remain strong in politics, like fire and police. My family has a lot of policemen and everything like that, and it's still like the mayor of West Dallas is Irish, of Irish descent, mayor of Tosa. So we've remained strong in the community, but our numbers are always lower than the other immigrants. So it is a fascinating story, right?
It seems like we got quite a few eateries in Milwaukee.
Yeah, we do okay on that.
Like
right?
County Claire, et cetera.
Yeah, the restaurant and bar culture and Irish businesses, there is a lot here, and the community, the organizations kind of depend on them throughout the year. So when St. Patrick's Day happened, we look at it as this is their day to give back to them for what they support for the organizations in Milwaukee, and the organizations in Milwaukee support just charities all over the city. So it's kind of a cycle of life for us, and we love all the Irish businesses in Milwaukee.
Barry, I know music is really your area. You are the Ward Irish Music Archivist at the Celtic Center. Tell us about that role and what do you do in that?
So the Ward Irish Music Archives was established in 1992. It's the largest repository of Irish music outside of Ireland. We have 60 to 70,000 items. It started because of the success of Irish Fest, because so many bands wanted to play Irish Fest, so they'd be sending us EPKs or vinyl and everything like that. So the collection just naturally happened. And so we now have actually 2 employees that are funded by the Irish government that digitize all of our materials. And so it's an educational component of Irish Fest. And it's just really a wonderful facility. Actually, you interviewed me there years ago, I remember, Vince. And so we have a lot of fun with it. And it's an important program to teach. So there is a difference between Irish Americans and people from Ireland. And so we are focused on more Irish America. And so we're the biggest repository, outside of Ireland.
What is the most Irish instrument? Bagpipe is more Scottish, right?
Right. The Irish pipes are the Ilian pipes, which are elbow. Ilian means elbow, so that's played with it's kind of more of a band pipe, like an artistic band versus a marching band.
Okay.
The Highland pipes are kind of a war pipe. I would say a fiddle. Fiddle and pipes. Yeah.
Can you play?
Yeah, I cannot. I cannot. No. I enjoy music like everybody else, but no, I love the arts. And as the artistic director of Milwaukee, which is celebrating its 45th year here, it's amazing how large all of the ethnic festivals have become and important to our culture in Milwaukee.
Talking with Barry Stapleton this morning, cultural MKE for the Celtic MKE Center and Irish Fest. It must get exhausting, though, Barry. I understand Irish whiskey is my thing.
Okay.
So you got that, you've got the Guinness, but it must get exhausting to focus so much as many people do on big drinking day and whatever. Let's get hammered for 4 days.
Yeah.
That must get exhausting because for so many people, it is the cultural stuff that is of great importance, and we should move the conversation at least to some degree in that direction.
Exactly. It's a stereotype.
Yes, right.
All ethnic groups have stereotypes, and we celebrate our culture, and culture is the community that we build together. It's not a matter of how much blood you have of Irish. We welcome everybody into the community, but we try and overcome that stereotype, and we always promote, in today's world, there's no, you can go out and have a good time, have some beers. There's no reason for you to be driving while drinking. Right. And so and in fact, I believe tomorrow, Miller has sponsored the buses, so there's just no reason to drive, and just enjoy yourself, but, get a ride.
So there's a parade downtown starting at noon tomorrow. Are you part of the parade at all tomorrow?
I am. I'm a judge for the first year in the parade, so pretty excited about that. We're all going to get all gussied up, and there's quite a few judges. And it's actually the first time I'm going to see the parade in a while, because I used to run the post-parade party that's after the parade, and I couldn't attend the parade. So I'm pretty excited. It's really, Mike Boyle runs the parade, and the parade day is bigger in Milwaukee than St. Patrick's Day for the people within the community because it's more family oriented. I believe, all the kids, the dancers.
Yeah.
It's really, and there's a mass at St. Patrick's in the morning, then there's a parade, post-parade party. So it's a long day, but it's really quite exciting.
Well, I was telling Erik about that. My girls danced for Glencastle.
Yeah.
As I told you, there's not a lick of Irish in us, but they saw and all of our fabulous dance schools here and academies in Milwaukee. Yep. The numbers have grown, right? And you'll see it in the parade. Another one. They just keep coming. They all have their own individual style. But I remember my girls saw that one time, I don't know, in our community, we live in Greendale. I think it was at the library. My kid said, I want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
All righty. We're not Irish, but we can do that. But my point here is the welcoming of the community. There was never any business of, so how much Irish are you? It's like, you want to dance, girls? Come dance.
No. There was some of that very earlier in some of the cultural organizations where you had to prove you were Irish. That's been long gone. And if you look at those dance schools, they're all Polish, German, Italian names, just enjoying the culture. We just want to celebrate and have fun and really, just enjoy our culture.
Corned beef, are you in or out? We're assuming you're in, and is there a style or a type that you like more than another?
I'm in. Not as much as when I was younger, but it has an effect that it didn't have when I was younger. But
understood.
I love it.
Understood.
And so I always find it. Yeah,
right,
I find it somewhere.
All right, great to see you, Barry. I hope it's a wonderful and safe weekend for everybody. Weekend, I say, and into Monday on actual St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. A very happy St. Patrick's Day and Parade Day to both you, and thanks for having me.
Nice to see you again, my friend.
Yep.
8:22 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What do you see on the roads here, Deb?
We're looking pretty good. Just the northbound side of 43 tightening up a bit from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Everything else is rolling along fine. I'm not seeing really any other delays. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Heartbreak Officer Brian Wickert. While national headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, that's still not the case in most of Wisconsin. The good news is that now, even in winter, AccuNet's experienced loan consultants are already helping many of our pre-approved home shoppers become homeowners and avoid the heartbreak of losing in a multi-offer situation. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that also might come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. When an appraisal is needed, we can also show you in dollars and cents what it means to willingly pay a certain dollar amount over the appraised value if that's what's needed to win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Tax tips are up next. They're brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit nealgroup.net, that's NEAL Group.net, for a free consultation.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Tax tip number 8. Do you own any rental property? Is it considered a short-term or long-term rental? With the explosion of taxpayers renting through Airbnb, Vrbo, and others, it can be confusing as to how to report, or even if you have to report, rental activity. What if you only rent your house for a specific event, like the State Fair or the Republican National Convention? Do you have to claim that as income? In general, if you rent your home out for 14 days or less, the income is not taxable. Really? Another wrinkle for rentals: are you considered a real estate professional? If you meet certain qualifications, you can deduct rental losses in full from your income rather than being limited to $25,000 or less. The IRS has very clear rules on what is considered an expense or an improvement for rentals. Some can be expensed immediately and others over up to 30 years. Rental property can be a great investment, but understanding the rules of income and allowable expenses, even for one room in a house, is important for tax filing. For more information on this tip and other tax tips, go to nealgroup.net or stop in and see us.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS has you in their crosshairs. We are local and know how to deal with the IRS and state to solve your situation. Just the other week, we successfully removed the target on Nick to get $194,358 of taxes and penalties removed. This is why I started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1111. 1192. We want to help so your bank account doesn't get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security garnished, or a lien put on your house. Get rid of that stress and get back to enjoying life. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone.
spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Back again and gone again for Hoskins.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants Friday at 3. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is sponsored by Yutka Fence, keeping families and homes safe by protecting what you love most.
Now all I got to do is remember to bring them. Vince Vitrano here for Shopko Optical. Never needed glasses until just a few years ago, and now I got finally a proper eye exam from Shopko Optical. I am reading easier. I see better for nighttime driving, and here's the problem. I forget my glasses now all the time. I've never been used to that. So, you get to the restaurant, and it's kind of darker in there, and the menu comes, and my glasses are sitting at home. No worries. You buy one pair of glasses at Shopko Optical. Each additional pair is always half off. So the plan this year is I'm going to get 2 more pair. I'm going to stash them everywhere because I'm finally seeing better. Dozens of locations across southeast Wisconsin. Got to be one near your home or work. Call Shopko Optical for the whole family or get started online at shopko.com to schedule an appointment. 8:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Have we gotten any tips?
None yet, which surprises me.
I thought somebody would have texted in. Greg Pancake Hill, producer of the program. Any tips or phone calls on the location of the emu?
Negative.
I am surprised at that. Because they call us before the cops.
Yes. And would it be great if we got a picture of the emu somewhere else, like at the art museum?
Yes.
And then
yes,
another
proof
one?
of life,
Yes.
like with today's paper.
Or at Bradford Beach.
Somewhere
Let's
else.
bring it someplace else. Yep, emu's still alive.
What are you guys talking about? An emu went missing from a Piggly Wiggly location in Slinger, and the police department is on it. Not a live emu. It was a mock-up. It's 4 feet tall, apparently. And this
It's big enough.
From the Slinger Police Department. So this is real. It's not just No, Slinger PD is actively looking for it and actually saying, here, I'll read this from their post. We are seeking your help in identifying the avian thieves. So they've posted pictures of these people who walked out with what was a liquor display, and part of it a 4 foot tall, like stuffed animal emu that they removed from the pig there in Slinger.
In the middle of the day, there's a shot of her just
clear as day,
putting it in the back of their hatchback. Just, okay, we're leaving though.
It's 2 people, a man and a woman. What did Gabe from ESPN brand the man?
Tanner and Skylar.
Tanner and Skylar is the names that we're going with today. It
Until
may or may
they get
not
new
be.
names.
And so what's the deal with the emu? Apparently it was part of this liquor display for something called Shanky's Whip. And that's a whiskey I hadn't heard of, but now will investigate. There's probably none left as everyone runs for the Shanky's Whip.
There are even, have you seen this bird posters being put up around Slinger?
They got one here. It's hanging on a phone pole like you would put for a missing person or a dog. And the hashtag is bring home the bird.
Now, we should point out, a skeptic, you've probably said this out loud already to the radio. You've probably said, no, this is clearly an ad. We should point out that the whiskey company says that this is not an ad, that it's not a viral video.
Shanky's Whip also posted, we were just informed by Slinger police that one of our beloved Shanky's store emus was kidnapped, birdnapped from Slinger Piggly Wiggly, gives the address, Slinger, Wisconsin. This is a live case. The bird nappers are on the run. They'll be easy to spot as they're carrying a 4 foot tall Shanky's Whip emu.
And also easy to spot because you can see them clear as day in that video.
I don't think the police would be taking it seriously, and they're taking it tongue-in-cheek seriously. This is, I hope it's the biggest crime in Slinger going on right now.
Sure.
But, I don't think Slinger PD is like going to, quote unquote, play along with some sort of ruse by this liquor company.
They
right?
would not be happy with
Sounds
that.
like a couple of people lifted this bird.
Right.
But what are they doing with it? You have to have other designs on it.
Put it in the basement? Put a Packers jersey on it? Show it to your friends?
But you pull something like this off, you can't keep it quiet.
We already know how this story is going to end. You know how this story is going to end. It's going to be left somewhere with some kitschy note, and it'll be like, sorry, just got bored and wanted to go for a walk. Ha, ha, ha. Here it is. Enjoyed some whiskey. They'll leave it someplace with a note, and that'll be the end of it. They'll put it in a park somewhere in Slinger, or they'll bring it to the high school, or they'll put it someplace, just like they did with the Brewers costumes. Remember the sausage that was stolen? What, like 10
Italian
or 15 years
had gone
ago?
missing from one of the festivals in Cedarburg.
Yeah.
Can't remember if it was the Strawberry Festival or
Was it even a
whatever.
festival or a private party or something?
I thought there was a festival and they were part of it, but then whoever was in charge of, returning the sausage.
Yeah. Careful.
Yeah, right. Whoever
there are children listening.
One of the sausages didn't make it back to then Miller Park, and that was Italian. And was seen, best part of that, was seen out at the bars that night in Cedarburg.
Yeah, but that, if I recall, that costume was returned secretly.
Yes, and unharmed.
Wouldn't you expect the same thing here?
But it was a couple of weeks.
Was it gone that long?
I thought so. Yes, I believe that's what's at play here. So waiting for the next pictures of the Shanky's Whip Emu to appear somewhere.
I want to see it at like a special famous place, like outside the stadium, or like I said, at the art museum. Do something like that. At a different Piggly Wiggly.
Out there at Little Swiss and Slinger, somebody going down the hill
it's
with
at
it.
Holy Hill. You can bring it anywhere.
It's making a noise. I don't know what noise emus make.
Something like that.
Something close to that.
Yeah.
So anyway, Greg, let us know if any hot tips come in, okay?
You got it.
Yeah, we're on top of it here for you on Wisconsin's Morning News. 8:32.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you save for retirement in a 401k or IRA, let me ask you, do you know how much of that money is actually yours? Or will taxes take a bigger bite than you expected? Right now, taxes are historically low, but with growing national debt and government spending, do you think they'll really stay that way? Many retirees are shocked to realize the IRS might be one of the biggest expenses in retirement. Here's the good news. You do have options. Smart tax strategies can help you keep more of your hard-earned money instead of handing it over to Uncle Sam. At Drake & Associates, we help our clients create tax-efficient retirement income plans so they can enjoy their wealth instead of worrying about it running out. And here's the catch. These strategies work best when you plan ahead. That's why I'm offering you a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you understand how taxes could impact your retirement and what you can do about it. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 right now to claim your free copy while supplies last. The longer you wait, the fewer options you may have. Take control of your retirement today. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you keep more of what you've earned.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive professional servers and bartenders. You'll make great cash. Inquire today. Start next week. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Coming up on 8:35 on Wisconsin's Morning News, our top story, a Milwaukee police officer arrested.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Human trafficking allegations on the city's west side.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Northbound on 43 backing up from about North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And that's pretty much it. Happy Friday. Everything else is looking great. I'm Debbie Losgo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 74 degrees away from Lake Michigan, about 10 degrees cooler lakeside today under partly cloudy skies. Showers and storms, thunderstorms included likely tonight. Some of them could be on the strong side with a low of 50 degrees. Right now we're at 44 in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee police officer now facing federal charges, accused of using his position in law enforcement to aid a convicted felon. His name is Jawan Madlock. He is accused by the FBI of using police databases to provide confidential information to a known member of a violent local street gang, including addresses of rival gang members. MPD says Madlock resigned from the department, and the police department is fully cooperating with the FBI.
Accusations of sex abuse and human trafficking inside a home in Milwaukee.
Inside the home in the city's historic Concordia neighborhood, Austin Chronister is alleged to have held multiple women against their will, requiring them to sign a contract and wear a collar at all times. A criminal complaint notes at least one woman was told by Chronister she must change her last name to St. Pierre and that he threatened to inject her with a harmful substance. The complaint notes the women inside the home all had the same tattoo of a beetle holding a poppy flower and were assigned slave numbers. Chronister is in custody, but bail has not yet been set. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The final American hostage being held by Hamas could soon be released.
Hamas saying it has agreed to release Adon Alexander, an American-Israeli soldier who has been held in Gaza for 17 months, along with the remains of 4 other hostages. It's still unclear when the release will take place or what Hamas is asking for in return. Israel and Hamas have been negotiating phase 2 of the Gaza ceasefire that began in January. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, at the Foreign Desk.
The president of the Dominican Republic is ordering a thorough investigation into the disappearance of an American college student who was on spring break earlier this month. ABC's Ariel Reshef.
Interpol issuing a global alert as search helicopters scour the reefs off Punta Cana for any sign of 20-year-old University of Pittsburgh student Sadiksha Kananki. The Global Yellow Notice, which shares missing persons information with agencies worldwide, coming at the request of the sheriff in Loudoun County, Virginia, where Konanki's family lives. Detectives from Virginia traveling to the Dominican Republic to hunt for clues.
So Kananki was last seen walking on the beach early March 5th. She was with a young man considered a person of interest who has been talking to police.
Sean Diddy Combs due back in court today, expected to enter a plea on new charges. News Nation's Nick Smith.
The first charge adds new counts to accusers where they expand the time frame of his alleged crimes. And another accuses Diddy of forcing employees to work extended hours, allegedly under the threat of physical and reputational harm. The hip-hop mogul is set to go to trial in May on racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
Combs has denied all of the allegations. News about your money, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Off the opening bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 220 points at 41,034. The S&P 500 at 5587. That's up 65 today. And the NASDAQ up nearly 2% at 17,632. Of course, we're just minutes into the trading day. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:39.
Traffic sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WY.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, it's happened again inside a plane. Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Oh, my God.
The Soties.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
No Corona!
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. Time to get ready for spring now. Johnson & Sons making sure no pavement hazards will get worse, and potholes, cracked curbs, drainage issues. If they're bad now, you want Johnson & Sons Paving out to your property right now for a free, no obligation quote walkthrough of your pavement. They'll see the signs: asphalt pavement that needs work, fatigue cracking, standing water, warping or buckling, sinking pavement. Don't scare away customers or tenants on your property with bad curb appeal. You book now, you'll save money later. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Broadway's smash hit, the Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, is coming to Milwaukee. The true story of a kid from Brooklyn, destined for something more, featuring all the songs you love, including America, Forever in Blue Jeans, and Sweet Caroline. Like Jersey Boys and Beautiful, the next musical mega hit is here. The Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, March 25th through 30th at the Marcus Center. On sale now at marcuscenter.org.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Debbie, what's happening on the drive?
Not much. We do have a little bit of a backup, basically from about Locust up to Keefe on 43 northbound. The southbound side's all clear. 41, the bypass, east and westbound 94, all squeaky clean. Also 4394, looking great from the airport spur all the way up to the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Airline industry rattled after yet another situation on a plane. Nearly 180 people on an American Airlines plane forced to evacuate when one of the plane's engines caught fire. So the plane took off from Colorado, headed to Denver, headed to Dallas, had to return to Denver because of issues on the plane. Once they got to the ground, it got worse.
Yet another dramatic scene at a U.S. airport. An American Airlines plane bursting into flames after landing in Denver. Passengers climbing onto the wing as smoke surrounded the plane. A series of recent crashes in Washington, Philadelphia, and Toronto and other close calls have rattled air travelers. Ticket sales are down. Delta's CEO recently saying a renewed fear of flying has caused a lot of shock.
So really there was no real issue. I mean, obviously there was an issue. There was a plane. There's a lot of smoke. There was concern. There was heat. But that also caused panic.
Orderly, 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 everybody.
That's audio from inside the plane. I mean, you could hear people getting freaked out. I mean, imagine that you're sitting in the middle of the plane, not sure. Who knows if the people you traveled with are in the same row or not. You're wondering how to get out. Then you're not moving.
It was just a bunch of panicky people around me, and the gentleman right next to me was a fireman, so he was trying to calm everybody down.
You know, it's scary. Like one person freaks out, and then another person freaks out, and then you start freaking out about the people freaking out because if they mess everything up, now you're like, I'm not getting stuck in here, and it snowballs, right? That panic.
The plastic of the window was melting and bubbling, and people were screaming.
So you are seeing,
that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. When you start to see that, like you see the physical ramifications of the fire. Everyone did get out. 12 people suffered minor injuries. You'll see video of the smoke and people standing on the wing of the plane. But yeah, unfortunately, these stories keep kind of popping up, and hopefully they can get their hands around it.
The Pancake Breakfast Special is up next.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Some current employees or candidates for jobs may seem just average at first glance. Others, they've got exceptional potential waiting to be discovered. The question is, how do you identify which ones are truly ready to excel, to take that next step? The LAK Group can help. They offer a huge range of employee assessments, so you have objective data backed by research to make hiring and development decisions. They even have culture assessments to uncover gaps and opportunities within your company. See all of their assessment tools at transformingcareers.com. That's transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
846 on Wisconsin's Morning News. A lot of stories make it into the news each and every week. Some of them don't fall by the wayside, so we ask our producer, Greg Pancake Hill, to whip up a little something with the leftovers in a feature we call the Pancake Breakfast Special.
What about breakfast?
You've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
Does the name Dr. Clark Gamblin ring a bell to you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's good. Maybe not. And if you will, you remember the man, Dr. Clark Gamblin, was the man who ran 7 marathons, 7 continents in 7 days. Yeah, exactly. He's part of a Pancake Breakfast special early in December. And I said I was going to follow up with him after the race. And, well, look at me. I finally did. And I started the interview with a recap of how I started my first interview. Here's a refresher for you. Last time we did this, I started off this interview in a way that isn't typically advised to start the interview. And I asked you, Dr. Clark Gamblin, I said, my first question is, why, man?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah, it was a great question. I agree, Doc. Thank you so much. Now we've found out the why. How was your experience running 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents?
Amazing. It was simply amazing, and truly an epic trip that went so fast. It was amazing how quickly the time passed.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let's go back to the why for a second. If you remember, Dr. Clark Gamblin, a surgical oncologist, was diagnosed with testicular cancer back in 2018. His emphasis is really men's health and talking about it. This is your sign, fellas. Go to the doctor. But what's cool is his goal, right? And all this was to raise awareness more than funds. It was more about awareness. So I asked him, with this goal in mind, what's the most rewarding part of running this race? 7 marathons, 7 continents in 7 days. The awareness worked because he told me that this was told to him right before the whole thing started.
Because it occurs, lifetime risk 1 in 250 men. But they let me know at the beginning of the marathons, they said, your fundraising effort is the largest individual fundraising effort we've ever had in our foundation's history.
That's awesome.
And so that was super gratifying to me as well.
I mean, like, you've already won at that point, right? Like, why run the race? No, of course, he had to run the race.
It's fine.
Again, the last time we spoke, one question that I had was which one was going to be more challenging, the physical toll or the mental toll?
Mentally, I was fine. I mean, there was never a point where I said, what am I doing? Or I wish I wasn't doing this, or, I should have done this, or maybe I should stop running. Nothing like that. So mentally, I was geared up, and leg-wise, knee-wise, hip-wise, I was fine. But my left low back, it took me a couple of weeks after I got home to really feel like I was back to normal.
Oof, that's a lot of mileage on the feet as well as the back. So what happens is he did suffer a little bit of a back injury, as you heard, while running on an F1 track in Spain. By the way, like straight up concrete, basically. We're cars drive, so not the most friendly of running surfaces. So we actually did 5 full marathons the first 5 days, then 2 half marathons the last 2 days. If you scoff at that, back off. I want to see you run 1 marathon in 1 day. Anyway, but this event is unlike anything you've ever heard of before, right? The logistics are crazy to coordinate all this.
We would run a marathon. We could get on the plane. We'd fly to the next place. We'd get off the plane, get on a bus. They'd say, hey, give us 45 minutes to set up the course, and we'll run.
What? I mean, hammering it all in 7 days is crazy. One of the coolest things of this race, though, it's not a typical marathon, and they allow some leniency. And when I asked Dr. Clark about the coolest part of the race, he said,
but it's not like the Boston Marathon or New York Marathon where no one can jump in and run. And so those people, my family and such, participated with me some in Miami, and that was just special,
Yeah, like how cool is that? Like you're running, you're like maybe you're dragging a little bit. Oh, look at that, it's a family members, right? And they're gonna jump in the race, and they're like, yeah, it's cool. Everything's good to go. So it's pretty great. Now we had a fun conversation, right? We went through the mission, we have inspiration, we have heartwarming. You ready for the funny?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's do the funny. The funniest part of the race was,
and there were about 3 or 4 Chinese guys that ran the marathons. They were good. They were good runners. But the thing they really existed to do is as soon as they finish the marathon, start smoking again.
wow. Could you imagine? This is what he said afterwards.
So here we all are stretching our legs and, and trying to get hydrated. And there's like these 4 guys out there smoking Marlboros just one after another once they finish the marathon.
7 marathons, 7 days.
Been a minute since I grabbed a grit here. So.
Right, just ripping a dart. Like, man, it's been a while. I got to pick me up. So it was such a fun conversation, you guys. There's so much more that he talked about, like the people that he met. A former Secret Service member at one point who was like the fastest to ever do this race. If you want to hear the full interview, I published the whole thing. It's about 20 minutes. Text PANCAKE to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620. Text PANCAKE. I'll send you the whole story, the whole interview. And as well, you can hear my first interview with Dr. Clark Gamblin as well, pre-race. Just an extraordinary story from an extraordinary fellow.
Outstanding pancake follow.
Yeah, pancake follow. Never say I don't ever follow up on anything. There's your evidence.
Coming up, did you see the eclipse? Erik did. And one more time here before 9 o'clock, Debbie.
All right, northbound on 43, still a little bit tight from Center Street all the way up to Keefe. Then we've got a little bit of a backup on northbound. Actually, technically, it's a broken down vehicle. Northbound 4394 to Plankington. It's off on the right shoulder. Broken down vehicle, and it's just really more of a distraction than anything else. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks on demand in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Front Hall project is really coming along with Inspired Closets Milwaukee. We should be all done next week. I saw a commercial for one of these high-pressure closet companies the other day offering more than 50% off your project right now. Give me a break. What do you think their normal prices are then? Work with my friends Katie and Dan. Stop in and see them at the showroom in Waukesha. Honest, upfront pricing. No pressure sales. They want to work with you to design a project that cuts the clutter, calms the chaos, adds form and function to your life. That's been our experience, my wife and me working with Katie and Dan on our new front closet. I love how it's coming together. Can't wait to show you the pictures. Tell them Vinny sent you when you stop by. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects.
To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geiss.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods and your storm team forecast for today. High of 64 at the lake, 74 inland. But the thunderstorms moving in tonight with some of those on the strong side. Talked with WTMJ meteorologist Craig Kapleen earlier today. Craig's looking at after 10 o'clock tonight for things to roll in. He doesn't see a strong chance of big damaging tornadoes. It thinks it's going to be more straight line winds that we'll be dealing with. But those storms could be strong over tonight.
It was a perfect conclusion to our new lives. I mean, the sun and the moon and the earth have become one, and so have we.
Did you see it?
This was like by no means as big as the total solar eclipse.
Bigger.
Lunar eclipse never as cool anyway. It was not bigger.
A total lunar eclipse, a blood moon. It was so cool. It was a gorgeous night for it. And you did not wake up, I noticed.
I told you I wasn't getting up for it.
No, I thought we had agreed.
We did not agree. You agreed
together.
that you were going to wake me up. And I know this because there is evidence.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did call you a couple of times.
Hi, this is Vince. Leave a message.
Hey, Vince, it's Erik. Hey, so it's almost time. I am outside. I am looking at this beautiful moon that is about to go entirely into the shadow of the sun, and it looks so pretty and gorgeous. Call me back. Hey, Vince, it's Erik. It's almost time. Hey, so I hope you wake up because the eclipse is about to happen. Call me back. I'm looking up at this clear sky, the beautiful moon just to the south, and it's about to be covered entirely by the Earth's shadow. It looks so gorgeous and pretty, and it's got like this rusty feel to it. Call me back. Vince, now you have to wake up right now. It's about to end. Vince, you have to... Oh, sorry. Sorry, Jason. Oh, my neighbor Jason just heard me. I forgot I was loud. Call me back. Oh, my gosh. Oh, look how cool that is. Ah, it's like the perfect conclusion to our new lives. The sun and the moon have become one, and so have we. Oh my gosh, what an amazing experience. It was so cool. Just a beautiful, celestial, wonderful thing. And you missed it, man. Okay, bud. See you at work.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Plans emerge that could transform part of the Blackstone Creek Golf Course in Germantown into a mixed-use development and a village park. A proposal includes development of 350 to 425 residential units in different phases over several years. Quad Graphics launches a promotional products division that will offer hats, pens, backpacks, and apparel emblazoned with the names of Quad customers. The new line of products and services is the latest example of the legacy commercial printer diversifying its business and expanding marketing capabilities. Chinese orthodontic manufacturers